Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All, the show for Panthers fans by Panthers fans. We appreciate each and every single one of you spending your Friday evenings with us here on the C3 Panthers podcast. And happy Halloween to all those who celebrate. We don't mean to scare you with some Panthers football, but the Panthers are 4-4, and we're getting ready to play the Green Bay Packers, one of the best teams in the NFC. But fear not, the Friday Free Fall is here for you. If you would like to be a part of the conversation, come on, folks. We need you. We need this discussion now more than ever for these Carolina Panthers. Be a part of it. Join via StreamYard. I've pinned the link to the top of the YouTube chat, to the top of the Facebook chat. Like I said, we appreciate each and every single one of you for being a part of the discussion. You already know I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, he who shall tell you to shut it the hell up. It's Panther Pickle. Pickle, what's up, dude?
Shut the hell up to everybody out there who don't like it. Keep pounding. Happy Halloween. And if you ain't scared, you should be.
That's
because
right.
Green Bay, because we going to Green Bay here come Sunday, and we might be scared when we leave. Or they may be scared. Well,
We're going to find out the hard way. But hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. So look, there's two big stories that we'd have to talk about. One involves Rico, but we've sort of been on that for a while. So let's talk about the most relevant information facing the Carolina Panthers, and that's the injury report. The Panthers have ruled out 2 players for Sunday's game at Green Bay, but have loads of questionables. Center Cade Mays with an ankle and a knee, and outside linebacker Prince Yellen have been ruled out on the final injury report of the week. Starting quarterback Bryce Young has no injury designation, meaning he's good to go. The Panthers have 6 players listed as questionable for the week, including backup quarterback Andy Dalton with a right thumb, left guard Damian Lewis with an oblique, right tackle Taylor Moton with the knee, linebacker Trevin Wallace with a shoulder, and Nick Scott with a groin. Also, Chandler Zavala with a knee injury. Zavala has practiced in all week in his 21 window, but hasn't been activated from injured reserve yet. Xavier Legette, illness, who was out on Thursday, has no injury designation. Now, what I want to ask everyone in the chat and to you, Panther Pickle, we have a lot of injured offensive linemen right now. Cade Mays right now he's not playing, so that's going to be Austin Corbett. But we don't know if we're going to have Damian Lewis or Taylor Moton. This seems like a terrible time for Bryce Young to come back. Not to mention you have Micah Parsons on the other side of that Green Bay Packers line. They have a vicious defensive line at the moment. And, dude, this seems like it could be a disaster for a quarterback that's coming back off of an ankle injury. My question is, do we or should we start Hendon Hooker? Do we save Bryce? Or is this the moment for Bryce to step up, show what he's capable of, and ball out up there in Lambeau?
No, I don't think Hendon Hooker's in the equation. They did bring up a quarterback. They had 2 quarterbacks off the practice squad last week. On the practice squad, they brought up Hendon Hooker to be their number 3 for Sunday's game, or their number 2 technically because Bryce was out. So when it comes time on Wednesday to bring a quarterback because Andy has got an injured thumb, they, in order to bring a quarterback from the practice squad, they bring up Mike White, the veteran quarterback on the practice squad that sat on the bench Sunday. So I don't think Hooker's into the process. But reality is, I think you play Bryce Young. Canales said today that Andy Dalton was still going to be the backup quarterback. I don't understand why they would do that, but I don't understand a lot of things this team does anymore.
Yeah.
Modern and Damian Lewis, I think Damian Lewis will play. But if either one of them out, it's going to make a big problem a worse problem. It really is. I would rather wait and give Savala another week. Because you don't want to bring him back too early and then him go on IR. You make a small problem a big problem. So
yeah, absolutely. Look, I sort of agree with Rashak. This is the game where Bryce Young needs to show what he can do. And before the start of the season, a lot of people, myself included, were saying this third season was so important for Bryce Young because this is going to be where he shows if he's taken that leap to really be that genuine, can't miss franchise quarterback of the future. And look, it is not an ideal situation. We're probably going to be down a bunch of offensive linemen, and that sucks. But, dude, that's the nature of the NFL. That's the reality of it. Players are going to get hurt. They'll be injured. But the franchise quarterback is the franchise quarterback. And if he can step up and play, then he should. Now, all credit to Bryce. It seems as though that's what he wants. And he wants to go out there and, ball out. So if that's what he's wanting to do, that's what the team is wanting him to do, that's what we need to do. But I think the fact that we know that we're wanting to pound the rock and run the football as hard as we can, to me, that is one of the reasons why, the quarterback situation, with Bryce being injured and Andy Dalton having the thumb injury, to me, it's like it's almost a non-issue because you have to run the football. When the Panthers are at their best, they are establishing the run. They're pounding the rock. And I feel like when you have Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary staring at you from the other side of the offensive line,
right,
run the ball right at them and show them that we're looking to play that textbook Panthers football. And Pickle, they say that a road game or that a run game travels. Well, we need that run game to travel more than it ever has this week if we're going to stay alive in the NFC.
Right. You're absolutely right. We have to run the football. We really do. And that's imperative. We have to run the football. If somehow, and listen, we got two excellent running backs. We've got the talent to do that. And I just don't see any reason why we don't run the football a lot. Now, the Packers are going to try to take what the Bills done and use that, but that's where Bryce is going to come into play. Bryce has to be that guy that Andy Dalton wasn't last week. He's got to move around, make them think twice before they rush him because he'll burn them. And the receivers have to run their better routes to get open, to be able to catch the ball and make use of it when they catch it. The last thing that we need is a turnover. We cannot let that happen under any circumstances. And, by the way, Cody, this coaching staff needs to get serious on these turnovers.
Yeah. No, they do. How do you mean specifically? Like not giving the ball up, like not turning the ball over, or
just turnover? Yeah, just turnover.
Trying to make more turnovers.
Well, okay. They need to get serious with stopping the offense from turning over the football. The fumbles, the interceptions are just out of. To me, we're having too much of that. We're turning the ball over too much, and we as a team as a whole needs to just stop turning the ball over. There's no use to turning over the ball the rate they're turning over the ball. Or it seems like to me we're turning over the ball a lot.
Yeah. Bryce was a part of those problems early in the season. It seems as though he's cleaning that up. But then you have Andy Dalton going in and just fucking giving them the ball. Yeah. And let's talk about that a little bit before we talk about Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. Andy Dalton looked terrible. Shout out to Rashad. He's just fuck Andy. I told y'all before the game I had no faith in Andy. But also we come to find out that Andy Dalton broke his thumb early in that game. So I don't know, man. It's like Andy Dalton was someone once upon a time that we felt like was one of the better backups in the NFL, and now he's just like a shell of his former self. But then you hear that he broke his thumb, and then it's like he's still questionable for this Sunday. Well, if you broke your thumb, wouldn't you not be eligible to play at all? Like you don't just get over a broken thumb, especially on
Yeah,
your throwing hand. It's on his throwing hand.
right. And that's odd. And everybody saw the game. Everybody saw the game, or everybody that's talked. You seen the game. You know how bad it was. And Dave Canales had the goal today to say that after watching the game, he realized that Andy still had control of the ball and was throwing the ball good and moving around. I'm like, what fucking the game was you watching, dude?
Yeah.
He can't have been watching the same game I was watching. But
yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't.
That's why he gets paid.
It doesn't make up for the decision making that was really poor. Because like I said, on that play with the fumble, Chuba Hubbard was open in the flat. All he had to do was just fucking chuck it to him. He wasn't even far away from him. That could have moved the sticks. There were multiple times. I saw Jalen Coker open in the back of the end zone. That would have been a would-be touchdown. If you would have put the ball on T-Mac on a couple of those plays, that would have been a touchdown. But the fact that he's so injured and so hurt, it makes me wonder, are they going to finally give enough time and enough effort into developing a backup, either giving Hendon Hooker or Mike White enough time to actually be able to go out and move the football and make some plays out on the field? Like, is it just a matter of them learning the playbook? You and I kind of went back and forth on this in the DMs in our one of our group chats, Pickle, that it takes a lot to be prepared to be a starting NFL quarterback. You have to know your audibles, you have to know your protections, you have to know the verbiage, you have to know what words mean what route, and your hots, all these different things. And it takes a while to get a quarterback up to speed to do all those things. But after that performance by Andy Dalton, broken thumb or not, I feel like it's almost malfeasance as a coaching staff if you're not doing everything in your power to make sure that you have someone that can step in that moment and be the backup quarterback. Because if Bryce is able to play this Sunday, which he will, he's on track to play, and Andy isn't able to back him up, one of those guys has to be ready to go. And, I don't know how much confidence any of us have right now in a Mike White or a Hendon Hooker, as bad as some of us want to see Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, most people here know I'm a Tennessee fan, and I want to see Hendon Hooker out there. But I got to be realistic, and I think I told you this. In reality is if Michael – if they didn't trust Hendon Hooker to go out there in place of Andy Dalton last week, why put him in that situation?
Yeah,
why? And I mean, I understand. I guess I understand if they don't trust him to go out there. But my point is, okay, fine. Then Mike White was on your practice squad. You're gonna tell me that you don't trust a veteran like Mike White, but you're going to trust a guy who, I mean, if you don't trust Hendon Hooker to go out there, you shouldn't have him on there, period.
Yeah.
Is that a coaching mistake?
And also remember, Mike White played a lot of starting snaps for the New York Jets a couple seasons ago.
Right.
I mean?
And you can look those up and they're pretty good snaps. But, still, if you're
for him.
Right. And if you're the front office, if you're Dave Canales and you put Hooker on your practice squad, you would assume that they trust him.
Right.
But if they're not willing And nobody's going to convince me that Andy in the middle of that game gave him the best chance to win.
Sure. I mean, I don't know, man. It's you know how we've been having this conversation around, Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle, which we're about to have again, because Rico Dowdle is expected to get the start and the bulk of the carries in Week 9 per Joe Person. But I also feel that it's a similar situation with Andy Dalton. That since Andy Dalton has been here for such a long time and has been a part of what we're doing, as a Panthers organization, that it was almost like a respect thing that they let Andy Dalton play and have confidence in him as that backup quarterback, and that might be to the detriment of the team. But I do feel like this Panthers coaching staff has this loyalty thing going on that maybe has been to their detriment, if we're being honest. Let me welcome in my bro Alex, 814 Panthers, back on the free for all. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, Cody? What's going on, Pickle? Happy Friday.
What's up, man?
Happy Friday, brother. How you living, man?
Doing all right. It's Friday. It's Friday, and the weekend's up. Spend some time with some family, watch some sports, and obviously hang out with you guys. And excited for this Panther football game on Sunday.
Yes, sir. By the way, the chat loves the throwback logo that you got on the hat, bro. You're rocking that thing. So yeah, like I said earlier, man. Bryce Young is set to return, but we have a bunch of injured offensive linemen. So, how did you make of the situation going up to Lambeau this Sunday against the Packers? Bryce will start, but we know that there's no Cade Mays, and potentially we could be without Damian Lewis, Taylor Moton, and Chandler Zavala. So, what does that say to do about this matchup going in to Lambeau this Sunday? And in your mind, would you prefer to shove Andy back out there, or was last Sunday's performance just too bad to even want to imagine something like that ever again?
Yeah, no, we can't. Unfortunately, Andy Dalton, he's not a mobile quarterback. He's never been. I mean, a little bit maybe here and there, but not really a mobile quarterback. So, I mean, we have a better chance with Bryce being mobile, where he could get out of the pocket, and he actually plays a lot better at times when he's moving outside the pocket, extending plays. But for us, if the O-line's depleted like this, I mean, anybody's O-line that's depleted, it's a recipe for disaster. So you really want to try to lean on that run game as much as possible. I would think you want to lean on. I'm hoping that they give the rock to Rico and Chuba, at least 25, 30 times on Sunday, and just kind of run it to that left side. I mean, Micah Parsons he's a great player, but at the same time, he does have some weaknesses. And when it comes to the run game, he's not really there. So it's like, I think there's a possibility for us to win this game, but obviously, respect to Green Bay. I mean, they're number 1 seed in the NFC for a reason, and they kind of play very similar football to what we like to do. So they like to run the football, Josh Jacobs, try not to turn the ball over, obviously, and then play defense. So, I mean, it's probably, it's going to be a tough battle for sure.
Yeah, and I like what you said too. Run the football at them. That is, as counterintuitive as it might seem, that is the best option. I find it funny that a lot of these pass rushers in the NFL that are just dominant, the best way to attack them is just to run directly at them. I think that is something that we should all keep note of. We're going to come back to that, but let me welcome some more people into the show. Let me see if I got them on mic. We got Locksman. Locksman, you with me, bro? What's up, dude?
Good, cold dog.
What's up, brother? How you
Everybody
living,
else.
What's up, brother?
I'm Gucci, though. I'm Gucci, cold dog.
Appreciate you, brother. Hey, how do you feel about Bryce Young starting this Sunday against the Packers with a banged up offensive line like we have, man?
It's better than Andy or any other backers we got. I mean, this is the game where he gonna show. This is the game where he can show why he was the number 1 overall draft pick, and this is the
Yeah.
game. If the offensive line is banged up, if Moulton don't play and Damian Lewis don't play, we got to run that route. We got to run that route. That's automatic. But this is a game where Bryce can really. I want to see the Bryce we seen week. What week was that? What week was that? Put it like this: I want to see the Bryce we seen last year. That last game versus the Falcons.
Yeah,
That's
against the
the
Falcons.
Bryce I want to see. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the game.
five
That's the Bryce I
touchdowns,
want to see.
5 touchdowns, 500 passing yards. Like
Yeah,
this is the season. We want
yeah,
to
that's
see
what.
that.
But like, yeah, that's like to me, like a game like that with no O line, you're expecting a lot out of Bryce. Where to me, they got to run the ball like 30 times. I'm expecting if we're gonna win this ball game.
He was drafted with the first overall pick for a reason.
No, I understand that, but I think we've come to realize that with no offensive line and us running the football, our recipe to win football games is running the football 25 times. Bryce having about 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, around 200 yards. That's usually a recipe for a W for the Panthers. When you see him throwing for like 350, 300 yards, a lot of times we're not winning that football game, honestly. That means he's throwing the ball a lot, and that's not
Alex,
what we really want.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would we win in a shootout? If we tried the shootout game with the Packers, would we win? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Right.
Okay. We need our defense to play better defense than they've played all damn year. We need our defense to walk in with the Packers and punch Jordan Love right in the freaking mouth and look at their offensive line and say, F you. Go out and punch him again.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, let me welcome in SC Based back on the free for all. SC, what's up, brother? It's been a minute. How you living, dude?
Man, it's been a while, Cody. Man, how you been, brother?
I've been doing good, man. I can't complain about nothing, man.
I'm gonna comment on these Panthers, Cody. But the first thing I want to say, man, you in this Panthers podcast space, UNC3 have been very welcoming to me. I think you're one of the first formats that have allowed a lot of people to come on and voice their own opinions. I don't like the recent rhetoric I've heard about, you being a racist or a bigot. I've never gotten that.
I appreciate you, man.
You let plenty of people of different races and different backgrounds on you, regardless of their economic or racial background. And I don't like that narrative that's been pushed out there lately. So I just had to say that before I get started on the better side. I've been hearing that all week.
Sincerely, I appreciate that, man. Yeah. I thank you for your kind words. I'd like to do my part to make sure that this is a free and open space for people to have their voice heard on Panthers football, no matter what you look like, no matter how old you are, able, disabled, young, old. This is the place to talk Panther football, man. So I appreciate that love and support, man. Sincerely.
Yes, sir. And see, if I may say this, I've been on this with Cody since almost day one. I think I missed one show or something.
Day one, I don't think.
I might have did day one. So
I think the first one you were on here.
Right. So one thing I have to say, and I'm not calling nobody out, but I know 90%, I'll just say 95% of the most popular Panther podcasters on Twitter or on YouTube right now have came through Friday Free For All and got their free, hey, come visit my new podcast.
That's true.
All of them. And
I'll let everybody promote.
They got popular on the back of C3 and Cody Lack, and then they moved on. But that's just what kind of man Cody is.
Yeah, but I didn't listen to any of that stuff. Cody's a swell guy, man.
Right.
He's number one in my book, man. And
I agree, man.
And this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would say real quick, Cody, because I know since we're on this topic, real quick. I mean, you guys have been C3, the fam. Everybody's been like open arms. This was like the first show that I watched maybe about a year or two ago, and like I found it on YouTube, and the Friday Free For All has been like nothing but like amazing, and you guys have been just great. Like we just talk Panther football. We have a good time. Yeah, some of us we don't agree with things, but it happens. That's the beauty of sports and the beauty of being a Panthers fan.
So it's
like, I appreciate it. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the kind words. I've never been in a situation like that in my life, but hey, man, we learn, we grow, and I'm not even the type of person to hold beef and grudges like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something that I look to dwell on.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I said,
And my
I
dad always told
appreciate
me,
it.
and my dad always told me, he said, son, people gonna always have something bad to say about you, no matter how good you. I mean, even I don't mean to get religious, but even Christ had a lot of naysayers. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
yeah,
when you walk the walk and talk the talk, you're just gonna have a lot of haters. That's just the way it is, man. But
yeah,
keep
man.
your head up. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. Absolutely. I appreciate the kind words.
Yep.
As always, the C3 Legion being strong. Love y'all, man. But SC, man, what do you think about this game? Bryce Young behind a battered offensive line with a high ankle injury that he's coming back from. How do you feel about Bryce's chances to look good on the road in Lambeau this Sunday?
I'll say this: he gives us like a 10 times better chance than Andy Dalton, man, because I don't know what happened to Andy. Like he just dropped off tremendously. I think when he came in as a backup, we always felt like if something were to happen to Bryce, like Andy will still give us a decent shot at winning. Even kind of like what we had with the gentleman's name is escaping me here right now. Derek Anderson. I guess we thought we would have something similar to
Yeah.
that, like with Cam, but he hasn't.
Yeah.
He hasn't been that. So I think Bryce is going to give us a better shot at winning this week. But with the offensive line being battered up, if we can't get the running game going like we get against Dallas or Miami, I
Yeah.
don't, even with Bryce playing, I don't see us having a chance of winning this game. The Packers are just a stacked team from top to bottom.
They are. I mean, let's be real. Right now, the Green Bay Packers are one of the best teams in the NFC. Like for my money, there's 4 teams that are probably going to represent the NFC in the championship game. It's between the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, the Philadelphia Eagles, and maybe Tampa Bay. I don't know. They got their butt whooped by Detroit, but they have
Like the
been
Rams.
playing. Yeah, they've been. Yeah, maybe the Rams too. I feel like the Rams and Tampa Bay are kind of in that same tier of like, who are they? Are they one of the better teams, or are they just gonna kind of crap the bed? But right now, I wouldn't blame anyone for saying that the Packers are the best team in the NFC because they're loaded on offense, they are loaded on defense, and that's why they traded for Michael Parsons. They felt like this was the year for them to go and compete. And that's what they're doing. That's why they went out and traded for him. Now, their best receiving option is a tight end. So, are we equipped to deal with a Tucker Craft on defense? I don't know. That's a whole nother question. But one of the things that we do know is that the coaching staff is finally going to give Rico Dowdle the majority of the starts. Head coach Dave Canales hinted at a possible change earlier this week. He said Chuba has meant a lot to the organization, certainly to the identity that we want to build our team on, and we wanted to give Chuba an opportunity to go out there and continue to impact the team. However, we cannot ignore the fact that Rico has been exceptional in a couple of games and in the opportunities that he's had over the last 2 weeks. He's made some excellent plays. Love the tempo and the violence that he's running with. And these are all the things we're talking about working through this week as we look back on these last 4 games. So, are you expecting a difference in our rushing attack now that we have made it official? We are going to pound the ball with Rico Dowdle. Fans have been wanting this. Now we're going to do it. Is there any hope of this being successful for Carolina, even with so many injuries on the line? Whoever wants it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a recipe for success for us. I mean, that's our game. That's our identity, is running the football, clock management, trying not to turn the ball over. We gotta not turn the ball over. And our defense has been, last week was a little rough, but at the same time, it kind of offense and it goes hand in hand. If the offense gives the football up, right after the defense was just on the field and had to stop. It's tough. Like the defense, as it gets put in a tough position. So it's one of those things where, we got to run the football. I wasn't a fan of the way that Dave Canales was running the 2-back system, where it was kind of like one series was here's Rico for a series, and then the next series was Chuba, and then back and forth. I'm not a fan of that. I think you got to like mix personnel at times, like even have Rico and Chuba on the field at the same time, kind of throw the defense off a little bit, like try to like not be so predictable when it comes to like those kinds of things. But I mean, this is the right move. Dave Canales is making the right move here. Yeah.
Pickle, is this the right move? Are we going to have success? Just running the football over again?
Yes, absolutely it is. It's happened before, folks. Y'all don't think that there was even Steven when we had D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. It wasn't. It absolutely wasn't. There were times when D'Angelo went out injured, and Jonathan Stewart would pick up the pace and he would get the top backs and he would be putting yardage together. And guess what happened when D'Angelo got healthy? Stewart went back to the bench. Wrong or right, that's how Fox did it. That's how sometimes Rivera did it. Okay, they were just getting along that way. Not saying that's what should happen, but that's what happened. Okay, this is absolutely the right move. You go with the best back to give you the best opportunity. And to be honest with you, if you look at stats, you can't look at stats since Chuba's been back and say he's the best back. You just can't do it.
No.
Okay. Now you could say, well, this offensive line was out, and that's how too bad. Too bad. You can't predict how your offensive line is. You got to look at what offensive line or what running back gives you the best opportunity in that game. And so far, Rico's been that guy. That don't mean that you throw Chuba into the trade market like some people are wanting or thinking. That just means right now, Rico's the best guy. Now, somebody calls the Panthers up and says, all right, I'll give you a 3rd-round pick for Chuba. Now, all right, now we might have to chat. That so far, that I don't think that's going to happen. I think at the end of this season, you're going to see Rico and Chuba side by side in this offensive setup, and the best back gets to carry. Now, what happens. If they can re-sign Rico and whatever happens. Next year you have Trevor Etienne and you have Jonathan Brooks coming back, so it gets a lot more dicier next year. But as it currently stands right now, this is absolutely the best chance we can go. And I think it may end up improving our kick and return ability, because if you look at last week when Chuba and Rico both had opportunities to return the ball in the return game. So I think in the end, that's going to help that job.
Yeah, I think that too. Pickle, I think you nailed it on the head. Like, just because Rico's going to be the starter or whatever doesn't mean Chuba Hubbard should just be traded. I think it's a luxury. Like, we have 2 decent backs. I think Rico's the better back right now. I mean, but like, you never know. Like, football is one of those sports. It's a physical game. There might be a week, God forbid, but there might be a week Rico gets banged up. You still got Chuba. So it's like, it's one of those things. Like, if they're on the same page with Canales and like they're cool with it and there's no turmoil in the locker room, dude, just we're good. It doesn't matter about who's starting, who's doing this, who's getting more carries. Like, it's about winning football games at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So.
100%. It's about winning football games. Whoever gives you the best chance to win, that needs to be who gets the bulk of the carries. And Pickle said it earlier. I mean, it's pretty easy to see that Rico has that extra bump, that extra pop on this team that Chuba just kind of doesn't have. And I'm not even saying that it's 100% indicative of what Chuba can do, because he has been hurt. Let me ask y'all this, though. We're getting closer to the trade deadline. Is there any scenario in which you would trade either of these running backs right now, be it Rico or Chuba? I mean, we're sitting here talking about how we're excited for Rico to get his opportunity to get the bulk of the starts. But, let's just throw this out there. What are the chances that they're showcasing Rico in case some team who's looking to win right now is saying, hey, we'll give you a 4th-round pick or a 3rd-round pick for us to get Rico, or there was a report that maybe the Steelers were interested in Chuba Hubbard, and I even heard the Patriots also. How many of these would you be willing to entertain if they came across Dan Morgan's desk?
Well, Cody, what my question or my rebuttal question? When is the trade deadline? Oh, like when is it?
I believe
Next week.
it's next week.
Next week.
Okay, I mean it's just like, to me, I said this morning in the chat. I just think we're not sellers right now. We're 4-4, 2 games behind the NFC South, and we haven't played Tampa yet. I mean, to me, I'm keeping the guys that I have right now. I mean, Chuba in the locker room, I feel like I know it's like, he hasn't been running the football great, but he's also been a big locker room presence for this team, building the culture with Canales. I know he's big on that, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, there's always a price, right? There's a price to, like, for anybody. Like if someone off, like what Pickle said, 3rd round pick, you might have to listen to that. But it's tough. It's tough. I'm on the side of keeping both. See how this season goes and kind of go from there. I know Rico's on a 1-year deal and he could walk, and if he has a great year, I mean, why not? I mean, go get your money, and so it's one of those things that it's tough, and and Carolina's not going to pay 2 running backs. It's just not going to happen. Right. I don't think they do that. That would be a mistake.
It's no longer 2000. But what year was it, Pickle, when Mario Herney paid both Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams? Was that 2013?
No, it was before that.
13 or
it was before
12?
that. It was before
maybe
that.
2012.
No, because let me see here.
It had to be pretty early.
It was
before
early,
Cam. It was before Cam got here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude.
I think it was
my time
8 or 9. I think.
But let me pose this. I'm gonna let you go, Pickle. But to throw this in there with it, Easy Crepe is posing the question: what if a team offered us a 2nd round pick for Rico? Would you refuse a 2nd round pick? And dude, that's
I wouldn't. I would not. But to get things clarified, it's been rumored online, and I'm going to call it a rumor because to me that's what it is. It's been rumored by an unqualified source. To me, he's unqualified. He may be qualified to other people. I don't know the gentleman, so I'll call him unqualified. That the Patriots have been begging the Panthers to trade him Chuba, and the closest thing we're getting is a 5th round pick. So you're not getting that high.
Yeah, now, this is not even worth it.
Right, but yeah, and I agree. But here's what I'm going to say: if the Giants, who are looking for a running back, called you up and said, "Hey, give me Chuba, and we'll give you Tibio."
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, you can't say no, or I wouldn't think you could say no. To me, the only way we're losing one of these run back is in that scenario. In that scenario, you got to give them something that's going to cause them to say, "Well, we didn't want to do that, but all right, that worked."
I'm interested too. I'm interested too, Pickle and Cody, is if I want to see this week on Sunday, because like it's kind of weird. Like they went Rico obviously to start. I want to see how many carries Chuba gets, because like maybe he is on the block and they want to just keep him so he doesn't get hurt. I want to see how much he plays this week just to see if that's an option. Because I mean, it's weird that they're doing it. You guys mentioned that the trade deadline's next week, and it's just, I don't know. It just seems a little weird that they're going Rico this week to start. I don't know. It's a little fishy to me. I don't know. It could happen.
I think the reason why they're going Rico to start, now I've said this before, we are in the process, and we fans have to remember this, and I'm as guilty as the next guy. Y'all, I'm super guilty as the next guy. We've got to remember we're developing Dan Morgan. We're developing Dave Canales. We're developing Brad Isaac. We're developing all these coaches and all these players and the front office staff all at the same damn time. They're learning as they're going, just like the coaches and just like the players are. They're going to screw up and say, well, I should have did that better. I'm sure Dan Morgan's thinking to himself, I need to do a better job of securing better depth for the interior linebacker position.
Well, yeah. I mean, I felt like he's done a good job in free agency of building out this team for depth. But I wanted to read this article, man. This is courtesy of Dean Jones on catcrave.com. And it's relevant to the conversation that we're having. It says, Panthers reached a defining moment that could reshape their trade deadline. A lot is riding on this weekend. The Carolina Panthers face a daunting road challenge against the Green Bay Packers in Week 9. And one respected NFL insider believes the result could have huge ramifications on how General Manager Dan Morgan approaches the 2025 trade deadline. It's a tricky spot for Morgan. The front office leader would probably like to be aggressive, especially considering the genuine progress being made. At the same time, the Panthers look a long way off from contending. So keeping Carolina's 8 draft picks in 2026 and spending them wisely during the offseason could be his desired approach. This is a fine line. Of course, speculation is already rampant about potential additions to the Panthers. Although there is no concrete evidence of interest in anybody, fans are always eager enough for Carolina to make a splash, but Morgan runs the football operation with the composure that wasn't evident in previous regimes. Dan Graziano from ESPN put this in the correct context. He thought the Panthers had enough salary cap space to make another move if the right opportunity presents itself, but whether they are buyers or sellers could rest on Carolina pulling off an upset in Lambeau Field this weekend. Carolina has cap space. This is the most important part. This is Dan Graziano. It says Carolina has cap space, $23.7 million per roster management system, and could use help at all 3 levels of the defense. The Panthers are a could go either way team, and whether they add or subtract could depend on whether they're 5-4 or 4-5 after this game against the Packers. How much truth do you think there is to this? How much is on the line against Green Bay? Like, if we're able to go and pull off a big-time upset against one of the better teams, do you think Dan Morgan could be a little aggressive in trying to go out and add into this football team?
Yeah. No, I think he can. Cody, I think he can be a little bit more aggressive for sure, because you look at the schedule the next 3 weeks. If you win this game in Green Bay and you're 5-4, you potentially can win the next 2. You got the Saints, and then you got in Atlanta. Yeah. So I mean, like, those are winnable games for Carolina. Obviously, they're division games. Nothing's like just handed to you. But at the same time, to me, those are 2 winnable games for Carolina. So I mean, you're looking at, if you're 5-4 and you win the next, I mean, that's 7-4. I mean, you're looking at potentially, a little bit of a run there. So, like, this is definitely like a huge, huge game for Carolina. But at the same time, even if they do go 4-5 and Dan's not as aggressive, it's okay. It's okay. Like, I mean, I think we all can look ourselves in the mirror and say, you know what, Carolina's not a Super Bowl team. I mean, obviously anything can happen, but at the same time, I think we got to be realistic here. Yeah. But at the same time, we're right there as, like, could potentially be a, like, 7th playoff seed and be a playoff, like a wild card team. So, but this is a huge game. It's an NFC game. This is going to be a big one for sure.
It is huge. And that line where the difference between 4-5 and 5-4 really feels like that could be the difference in what we decide to do before the trade deadline. I would just be, and obviously there's no way of knowing this, but I would just be interested in knowing what players they would even be interested in dealing, or in the adverse, what players they would be looking to bring on to the team. If they did want to go out and get someone, what position would it likely be at? I would love another edge rusher, especially now that Princely is injured. You already have Patrick Jones out for the year. We need edge help, but I
Uh,
just don't know who's available that's worthwhile for you to trade for and that the team would be willing to give up. I just don't know who that is.
right. And I mean, y'all, it's I don't think they're off. I don't think anybody's offering a stud for a cheap price. We need to put the hooks on that, y'all. Nobody's going to offer us a top level middle linebacker, a top level edge rusher, and we're going to give a fifth, sixth round pick for him. That's not possible. There are also very rarely people are offering a day one starter. Generally, they're going to offer you somebody that has already failed. They're offering you. They're basically the guy they're going to cut, or somebody they could cut if it don't work out. Um, that's just fact of it. A lot of the free agents setting out in free agency right now, they've kind of been there all year. They're out there for a reason. If I had to make a bet of somebody that he could trade for, or per se a position, inside linebacker, edge, I think they like their corners too much to trade for a corner and safety. I probably wouldn't be a bad idea if they could swing it to trade for an offensive lineman.
Well, this article says they need help at all three levels of the defense.
I don't know. I don't really know about that. I don't. I'm not going to say they need defensive line help. They got good depth in defensive line. I mean, let's be honest. They signed a free agent offensive tackle to big time money. They really ain't done diddly dog shit. I pushed for that man to be here. I overhyped him up, So, but at the same time, you spent a lot of money. You're not getting rid of him. I mean, I like Brown. I like Derek Brown. I like Ashawn Robinson a lot. I don't think even Bobby Brown's played enough. So what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to bench one of them to bring in somebody else's practice squad? I mean,
yeah, and you're not gonna with this where Carolina is at right now with this 4-4 record. I don't see them like trading the farm. I think that we're still like what Pickles kind of said was, we're a rebuilding team, so it's like you don't want to give up. It's hard, like you don't want to give up too much because it's like, and I mean that by like draft picks, because like that's kind of where we're building this team. Like I think the last two drafts have been somewhat decent, like okay. Like this last draft seems pretty good. The draft before that was it was okay. So we just gotta I feel like we just gotta keep building on that and like not give up our draft capital because we're looking at a potentially a wild card spot, and that would maybe even a first round exit. I just don't think that that's something that I don't think Dan Morgan's gonna do something like that. It's gonna be someone like not a big name, like someone that potentially maybe they're sellers at the trade market, but like a team that's like maybe like a Miami where they're like they're 2-7. They might be offloading. They just fired their GM. They might be retooling, resetting. So like a team like that could potentially be someone that we could look at.
Yeah. I also like the end of this article. It says it's a pretty fair and sensible assessment. Morgan isn't the kind of front office leader who chases. There is a methodical way in which he goes about his business, and he has complete trust in his long-term plan. The former Pro Bowl linebacker also knows that his team is not one piece away from getting over the hump, regardless of whether they beat the Packers or not. While it's not the most headline-grabbing way to mold a competitive roster, it's the most tried and tested. Besides, the rash gambles made by the likes of Matt Rule and Scott Fitterer didn't exactly put the Panthers among the challengers. In fact, they set the franchise back years. And that's a good point, man. Like when you go all in on trying to win something right now, you do run the risk of just hurting this team in more ways than one. Like the most boring answer might be the truth is that we might just not do anything at all. Like this just might be the roster for the rest of the year for the Carolina Panthers. And I'm not.
I think
I
that's
can't.
more likely what we're going to do is nothing.
Yeah, most likely it'll be nothing, but it could potentially be if it's something small, like one of those
Easy
teams
creeper. We're not trading Rico to any contender just to be nice. We did that once, and it didn't do us diddly dog.
Yeah, I mean,
It would have to be so much.
No, I mean, let's be real.
Advantage.
If somebody, hypothetically, say the Patriots called up and said, we'll give you a first-round pick for Rico, I'd help Rico pack. I would.
Yeah, first round pick for sure. I mean, that's
I mean,
that's for sure.
But
yeah, it's just
yeah.
like that. I know, weren't we like? I think we were like 3-0, and then we made a couple moves. I think, or something like that, a few years back with Darnold. Or was that when we got we brought in Gilmore at some point?
Yeah, we were 3-0. Gilmore, we brought him in before then. I think I don't remember.
Before then, okay.
But I think he was he was still in recovering from an injury because he wasn't getting back on that field until he felt like he was ready, regardless of what trainers say.
Yeah,
but
it's one of those things that that regime, Rule and Scott Fitter and all that. They did hold it. They didn't draft well, as you could tell. I mean, we don't have a lot of those guys from that draft. So it's it did set us back years because we didn't draft that great. So it's we have to start all over, and Panther fans just have to realize that we're finally really doing a real rebuild. So it's and some of these people or players or coaches might not even be here once the rebuild's finally actually done. I mean, but this is a good start. Honestly, it's a good start.
Yeah, we've heard the word rebuild so many years in a row. I know Panther fans are tired of hearing it. Are we ever either going to start rebuilding or be done rebuilding? Come on, man. But listen, I do trust Dan Morgan, and I feel like even David Tepper from the very top of this organization trust Dan Morgan. And as a GM, you're not going to hit on everything that you do as a general manager. But I think I speak for a lot of other people when I say that this draft that he had, when you can, all things
keep that
considered.
comment up for a minute, Cody.
That right there? Yeah. So all of the things considered, you have Tetaroa, you have Nick Scorton, Prince Imani Allen, Trevor Etienne. You have all these guys, Mitchell Evans, dude, that dude's been a beast. Lathan Ransom shows a ton of potential. I do think that he has an eye for putting the right kind of young, talented players on this team, which we have said for a long time. If you're going to build a contender, it's going to be through the draft. So if I'm betting on, are we going to be more of a seller or a buyer, I'm probably leaning seller a little more than I am buyer, especially depending on what players we're talking about.
Right. And the reason why I wanted to bring that comment up here, I know that you look at our rebuild, you look at the Patriots, you say, well, they're making it look easy. Well, they went and got a veteran head coach who's not a head coach. Or they look at a veteran leader who knows the organization. He didn't have to learn it. He didn't have to learn about what they did in the past. He already knew it. Okay, Mike Vrabel was the coach. His coach and the owner was a veteran owner who hired a guy and stepped out of the way. He knew he didn't need to be in the office. He didn't need to help draft. Get out of the way. They went and got a GM who knew what he was doing in GMing, right? They went out and got an offensive coordinator, has multiple Super Bowls, and been an offensive coordinator. He's been a head coach. He knows that organization. He's developed quarterbacks. Their passing game coordinator, the tight ends coach, is Thomas Brown, our guy. Their offensive line coach is a former head coach, Doug Marrone. It goes in stark contrast to everything the Panthers have done over time. If it really has, they've got Terrell Williams as their defensive coordinator, but you might as well say their head coach is also their defensive coordinator. So, and then they didn't they really didn't draft their quarterback. He was done last year. So they put together things. They had plenty of cap to put things together, and they've real bright drafting. And I want all this to say we're not the same. Don't compare our rebuild to their rebuild. Their owner's done this multiple times before. David Tepper hasn't.
Yeah. Dude, David Tepper's been here for a while now, though. And
right.
This is his
and he's learning.
coach.
He's learning, but he's got. I still believe that he stepped out of the way. I don't believe he's into the day-to-day operations. I don't believe he sticks his nose in the business. I really don't. Now, some people still think he runs everything in secret. I don't think that's true, but that's just my opinion. So,
well, Pickle, I also think that's the adopted excuse that a lot of people will use whenever they don't like whenever they don't like the actions that the team is taking, but they can just blame it on David Tepper because they never liked him anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like it's sort of a scapegoat in that certain sense. But I don't know, man. I did want to talk about this a little bit. Do we have the type of defense to shut down the tight ends? Specifically the one tight end for Green Bay. That's Tucker Kraft. The dude is the number one. Here, I have it in the last Tuesday's show. But Tucker Kraft, he's basically the number one option for Jordan Love. Like, do we have what it takes to be able to slow them down enough to not have to win a shootout?
No, I don't think we do. I won't tell why. Even if you bring a safety into the box and that safety covers him, you might be all right. But Trevor Wallace is injured. He's questionable. I think he may or may not play in the game. Who are you going to rely on after that? Claudette Claris? Maybe Bam Martin Scott. I mean, that's what you're looking at right now. So reality is, I don't think we're nowhere near. I don't think we nowhere near have the defense to stop those two tight ends. We can slow one down at one point, but we'll not stop them both, but not even a little bit.
Yeah, this is from Panthers.com. Whenever a tight end is a team's leading receiver, the offense typically doesn't have a top wideout option, or the scheme is built on checkdowns. The Packers have good wideouts, including Christian Watson, who returned this week. They have a scheme that is happy to push the ball downfield. And Tucker Kraft is still Green Bay's leading man. He can do it all from the middle of the field to deep passes, working whenever he's needed at any given time. The third-year tight end has 30 receptions for 469 yards, which leads the Packers by a wide margin and is the third highest in NFL amongst tight ends, trailing Travis Kelce by a mere 5 yards. Kraft is also Jordan Love's favorite red zone target. He has 6 receiving touchdowns. The rest of the team has a combined 7. So he is their go-to. Just like Cam Newton had Greg Olsen, Jordan Love has Tucker Kraft. So this is going to be the matchup that we're going to have to shut down. I wish that we had some bigger bodies playing nickel. And people are going to say, oh, Cody, you're just a Clemson fan. Yes, I am. Isaiah Simmons is still out there on the market. This dude is 6'4", 240 pounds. And if you know anything about how he was used at Clemson, they would put him at nickel and they would make him cover tight ends. It's at moments like this when I wish that we did have that bigger body defender in our secondary to be able to go against these types of bigger, stronger tight ends that we're going to be facing. To me, this is where I feel like our defense doesn't have that type of guy. Because we already know, Pickle, we're not moving J.C. Horn around. So, I really don't feel like they're going to have a lot of moments where they put Tucker in front of J.C. Out wide.
No. And we're not moving J.C. around. I think we're going to rely on our safeties, maybe a nickel corner who's going to be too short, and an inside linebacker to do the same thing. They've proven over and over again, especially in the Evero system, that they can't cover tight ends. But he's not going to budge. Evero is certain that his defense is the best defense that he ever runs, and even no matter how bad it sucks on a regular basis.
Yeah. I mean, the pass rush is really what I'm concerned about. We had a great game against the Cowboys. That was incredible. But we did not look up to par against the Bills. We didn't get home to Josh Allen, but I think once. And we still have to continue this. Like, we have to do it against more than bad teams. So I think this is a good opportunity for us to do that. I just don't know if we have what it takes to actually get that done. This is why I was saying, if we did do something at the trade deadline, I would love to go out and get more pass rushing help. I don't think that that's going to be likely, but I would love an extra edge rusher to be able to help Derek Brown, to be able to create more of that pressure we need be.
Right.
I feel like we're missing in that territory.
You're right. You're absolutely right. We are. I mean, we are. And let's not forget though, we did pick up a guy, Gibson, Travis Gibson, was a new pickup we got in. So I'm sure if Princely is out, which I think he may be out, he may get some playing time. I don't know how good or bad he is, but he is a veteran who's had some playing experience. So,
yeah, we're gonna need it. I wanted to show some of these other slides. Wait, hang on. I'll shout out to Anonymous. He says Bradley Chubb, Thibodeau, Jalen Phillips are all viable options for teams who are more than likely selling. But again, it goes to the point of, are we going to be willing to give up what it takes to get those guys? How much does it take to get those guys? I would love any of them because I've been a fan of both of them. I liked Bradley Chubb at NC State, Kayvon Thibodeau at Oregon, Jalen Phillips at Miami. They're all viable options, and they would fit into what we're trying to do here. But would we be willing to give up what it takes to get those guys? Like that article was talking about, how much is Dan Morgan willing to give up, knowing that this team?
You remember he loves his draft pick, right? He loves his draft pick, and listen, I've said it before. If I had to give up, listen, I think the Panthers suck at drafting the second round. More times they've drafted in the second have sucked than been successful. If you're telling me if I call the Giants and offer them a second round for Thibodeau, I'm going to get. That's what I do. But that's me. I'm a fan. Dan Morgan may think his second round picks are great, and he ain't gonna budget.
Yeah.
So
no, it's all legitimate stuff. I'm trying to look for some stuff here. Bryce Young. To me, it's one of those things, man. Like, we're talking about how bad we need Bryce Young to come out and stunt and play his best football, but it's going to be really hard to do against, or with this crop of offensive linemen. However, it doesn't change the fact that it's still a big opportunity for him. Let me welcome in my friend from the 704 Charlotte Bound Show, Twan Don, back on the Free for All. What up, Twan?
What's going on, man?
Chilling, brother. How you been, man?
I'm good. Well, I was good. I wasn't doing very well at all, man.
Man. Condolences to your family and your friend, man. That's terrible.
Man. Yes, I went through 3 deaths in a week and a half. So,
hate to hear that, man. It's a wild world we live in, brother. We've been praying for you, man.
Yeah, man. What's going on tonight? Everybody trick or treating or some shit?
I think so, man. This is me and Pickle holding it strong. Just BS and talking Panther football.
Alex dropped by for a few minutes, and
let's talk some damn Panthers football then.
Let's do it, bro. Hey, talk to me, man. Bryce is coming back against this Green Bay Packers, but the offensive line's busted up, Twan. Taylor Moton might not play. Lewis might not play. And we know that Cade Mays is not playing. What are the chances that Bryce has to even look even remotely good this Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, subject came up on my show as well. I mean, it's going to look like when Bryce first got here, or that's what I'm anticipating, when he had no line at all in front of him. And we had Bradley Bozeman at center, and like when he was able to get the ball off in time, and like all the struggles he dealt with then. I mean, I think even the best quarterback needs a line in front of him. You know, so with his skill level and not having a line in front of him, you know, I mean, the thing that gets me through football games every week is that any given Sunday mantra, you know, I mean, I know what I think may happen, but I know what could happen at the same time. And then I don't know if our offensive line, because we don't know those guys well, if they have next man up mentality. I don't predict us to win the game, but I'm expecting to see Bryce at his worst, like when he first got here. But that because of that line, and I don't see the wide receivers eating because he won't have time to throw to them. The best thing with us in that is that Rico can find a man on that line that's just doing his thing, blocking, and get behind him.
Well, that's what I was about to ask you too. Does it change anything for you that now Canales has confirmed, and Joe Person reported this, that Rico Dowdle will be getting a majority of the snaps instead of Chuba Hubbard? Fans have been asking for this. We're finally going to see it. Is that going to change anything when you're going on the road? We're not a good road team, and we're playing one of the best teams in the NFC. Does that change anything with all of the injured offensive linemen we have?
Well, a lot of people are not going to agree with me, or and some will, because I've, you know, and the guy you about to bring in, he know I've been saying this so many times. Man, look, man, I put a brunt of this on Canales, man. I think some of these guys is hurt because of him, because he don't know who to sub in. He don't know when to take people out. I mean, these rookie-ass coaching mistakes and his inability to know what he's doing is getting guys hurt. Playing guys when it's 40-0 that start, leaving those guys on the field. I mean, I'm just so fatigued with this guy, man. You know what I'm saying? But he's still young. I still want to see him, you know, have a year with his own quarterback. But it's not looking good. Man.
It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. I want to like Canales so much, and I do. But I also think he's a little bit hamstrung as well. But we'll continue to talk about it. Let me bring in my bro right here in Charlotte, my dog, Poppin', back on the free for all. What up, dog?
What's going on? What's happening? What's going on? How everybody doing tonight?
What's up, brother? What's up, man?
Great, man. Happy to have you here, brother.
Y'all ain't tricking. Y'all ain't tricking tonight. Y'all ain't tricking.
Nah,
I'm just treating, brother.
I've been treated and tricked so much, I'm out of it.
Dang.
Yeah, man. How you living, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. On the road, man. Just headed back to the city.
I feel you, man. Working hard. I hear that. Talk to me about this game, man. Rico Dowdle getting the bulk of the snaps at running back. Bryce Young coming back. But both of them are going to have to do that behind a battered offensive line, which, to be real, is what they've had to do all year. And by the way, we still haven't even mentioned the unsung hero, Brady Christensen, out for the whole year on IR. Man, that's a gut punch, man. That dude's been so awesome.
The one thing I want to say about that Brady Christensen thing is this, and I say shame on the Carolina Panthers, bro. Shame on the Carolina Panthers. And then when I say this, I hope people understand that. When you don't use something, when you should have been using it, and you sit and let it pile up dust, and then you put it into a situation before you clean the dust off of it, or you know what I'm saying, or get something worked up like an old bike or something like that, then injuries often do happen a lot of times or whatever. No reason that man shouldn't have been playing and should have been starting. So when you decided to put him out there, then he gets hurt, and now you don't have it. Now you're sitting there thinking about all the times you could have played him, and you didn't.
Who's he starting over though?
I go back in the day where I still stand by this, man. I always wanted Brady Christensen to be the left tackle and move Equano to guard, but when we went and got those two guards, I knew he was never going to get moved there.
I wanted Christensen to be left tackle in 2020, the year before we drafted Ike Equano.
But they all went to camp, right, guys? So you gotta beat the person out.
Yeah, even last
you get pick number one.
Well, even last year, even the last offseason, not this one, but when we were bringing people back and I found out they re-signed Christensen, I was happy because I thought, okay, he'll get to compete maybe at center and see, and I knew they brought Cade. They had Cade for 1 year, and I thought I can see that Cade and Brady competing for a center job. I like that. Then they turned around and brought Austin Corbett back to compete. I thought, what you going to do? Just let Katie or Brady just hang out? And that's that's exactly what they did. Yeah. And there's certain things that I'm sure they Dan and Dave thought they were doing right, but I never liked how Brady. I know they brought the guards in because Brady had some injury issues. I know that. And, if it wasn't for the injury issues, we don't know how the offensive line would have turned out. But,
go ahead, my bad.
No, you're fine. But you could go on to he should have gotten a fair opportunity at left tackle. But that goes back. That goes back 2 coaches ago. Yep. That goes back 2 coaches ago.
Yeah. Go ahead, Pop.
So, go ahead.
To answer your question on as far as what I think they're going to do.
Yeah.
You're going to see a heavy tight end set. That's what you're going to have to do, because the way Micah Parsons is playing and how he lines up all over on that front of that D line, he's probably going to. The best way to go about it is to run a 2 tight end set. To me, to give you extra help on the offensive line, and also to give you a guy that can help block him. To chip him. Give Bryce time to throw, because if not, your running game is not going to be as effective, or especially not. Well, I always say your passing game not going to be as effective, because now you got to use any one of your running backs to chip Micah Parsons. That means that's another weapon that you can't dump off to in the flats. So, I think you're going to see a heavy tight end set this time, and that would help you run and throw the ball. That's what I would do.
Right. Yeah, I agree. You sounds logical. Sounds a smart move.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, if we're able to run the ball effectively, like I said, to me, the quarterback position is almost secondary. Like, you're not going to Lambeau to chuck the ball more than 30 times anyway. So it's like, you have to be able to competently run the football. And to me, if you're able to start Rico, I have seen him make something out of nothing more than I have from Chuba this season. So it's like, this has been the way to win football games the past 4 weeks in a row. And it's like the only time that we really did it was when we didn't have Chuba Hubbard to fall back on. But we had no choice but to run with Rico. So it's like they're kind of a day late, dollar short. But hey, man, better late than never. I wanted to ask y'all this while I got y'all, Twan and Pop. I put up an article earlier that was saying how active we are before the trade deadline could depend a lot on how successful we are against the Packers. How much truth do you think there is to that? And do you think the Panthers could be buyers or sellers before the trade deadline?
Sellers. And if I know Brian Burns, he is definitely not going to still allow Thibodeau to leave. Hey, bro, you don't want to go to Carolina. He ain't going to do that. So that you just ruined that relationship. That ain't gonna happen. Sorry. And I don't really know if I want Thibodeau because he stays hurt a lot. But I think we possibly could be sellers
Yep.
because, and I said this earlier this past couple weeks. Now that the Giants have lost their running back, that could be a place where Chuba can go. Cincinnati, that could be a place where Chuba could go. They don't have a good running back there either.
I've heard
What would you
Pittsburgh.
take for?
Pittsburgh,
What would
that's another place too. So
what would you give up? What would you, if you were them? What would you give up for
Chuba?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm. You're probably not gonna get no more than a third or a fourth for him, and third is pushing it. But he is 1,000-yard running back. But and then not only that, he's a little injured right now. So
Nah, man, you'll definitely get a third round. I mean, he's 1,000-yard back. Ain't nobody. We'll make a done deal, but
see, Twan, you said
Bex ain't going for how they.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if a third round is even reasonable.
Third is pushing. Third
don't make the deal.
But listen. The money that money that you take off from not paying him, that they would pick up for paying Chuba, because it's only $33 million for 4 years. That's money you can pay Rico.
Yeah, and Dan Morgan does like his draft picks, and we see that in the later round, he's been able to turn these into some players. Man, Lathan Ransom, look at Mitchell Evans balling out. He's been a real contributor to this football team. So I don't know. Like we might sit here and say that the third round wouldn't be enough, or a fourth round wouldn't be enough. But I don't know. Maybe Dan Morgan sees it differently, though.
Well, it's not. And the way that I've often said it is, I'm not getting rid of. If I'm the GM, I'm not getting rid of either running back. I'm paying Rico. I've said it before. I mean, some people was on my side, some wasn't. I'm paying Rico. The person I'm looking to move is Icky. I'm going to go get another guy that does what Icky does, that's faster than Icky or whatever. I mean, that's what you do with your draft pick. I don't see a big fall off if you go out there and get a guy in the first round or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But Icky is the guy that I'm moving on for. I mean, like, because if I'm sitting there and tell you, if people says, "Oh no, we got to keep Icky," then I'm going to say why.
Okay, I got an answer for you.
I'm going to say, what is it about Icky? Why, like, where you give him that type of money, and I don't want to hear left tackles don't grow on trees.
I got an answer for you right here. Watch this. Now, you did a show, I believe, like 2 weeks ago, Twan, and the title of the show was "Run the Damn Ball." Now, what is Icky good at doing?
Run blocking.
Oh, okay. So where you want to keep the guy you just said, Rico, who you going to pay a left tackle where he can run behind and maul people over and pancake motherfuckers? Wouldn't that make plenty of sense? You get a healthy Damian Lewis beside him back, fully healthy after this year. You get your Robert Hunt pulling guard, make him pull over and help and get in front of Rico. Come on, Twan. You ain't making sense to me. You my boy, but that ain't making sense.
Okay, great point.
There you go.
Great point.
But hold up, before you go, Twan, I'll bolster what Poppin has said. One of the main criticisms I have had of Ike Ekwonu has been pass protection.
Yes.
And I feel like this year he's been pretty solid in that department.
Oh, no, man. That's because we're running the ball more. Listen, I'll take what Pop says, and I'm going to answer this.
Allowing sacks.
Great point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because we're running the ball more. And then silly ass Bryce told everybody silly ass Bryce told everybody he couldn't throw to the left side. But listen to this. Listen, Icky is good at running, but run blocking, right? But unless that's going to be our DNA, then I'm still getting rid of him. I still don't think it's going to, because it's not Canales' DNA to run the ball all the time. Even when Dowdle is going 9 yards, and on the next play he's going 12, and then on the next play, then he might hit a 15-yarder, And instead of him going, I'm going to give him a breather, keep running the ball, and send when Chuba was out and send ETN in, and we're just going to keep running the ball until they can fucking stop it. No. Canales likes to get cute on first down, and then he'll do something on first and second way. We're in obvious passing situation on the third down. Canales cannot hold himself from doing what works because he wants to air the ball out. Chuba, look, putting Bryce in that situation is not good. Nobody trusts Bryce's arm anymore, man. They don't. But Canales is trying to force that because he don't want us to be strictly run. Keep. No, let me finish it. Keep. If we're gonna be a run first offense, then keep Icky. But if we not, then I'm keeping those damn running backs and shit. And hopefully the next coach, when Canales get out here and fuck it up, will be able to utilize those guys correctly.
So by the way, I just looked this up. This Sunday, the weather is supposed to be high 40s, low 50s when we play.
That's summertime in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's really not even that bad of weather for Green Bay. I don't know, man. Like, look, Bryce needs to show out in games like this. Coming off of an injury with a banged up offensive line, like this is his year to make some money. We're gonna have to decide his fifth-year option real soon. So, hey, man, like I know it's unfair. The situation isn't exactly the best, but dude, if Bryce can go out, show some leadership, and ball out, that's gonna go a long way towards telling this organization and all the fans that Bryce Young is the future at the quarterback position for the Carolina Panthers.
He's not, man. He's got 9 games to get his money. He's got 9 games to prove to the Carolina Panthers that he deserves any type of money. 9. Do y'all trust that he will do that in 9 games with no line?
I don't worry about it, Twan. I really don't.
I don't. I've mentally moved on from Bryce, bro.
If he does it, congratulations. If he don't, great. But at the same time, I do know that I want to have my left tackle who's good at running in case we decide to get a new quarterback, a rookie quarterback who now has a running game and a running left tackle that can block for him. It sets him up perfectly while he develops. Right now, that's the best thing you got going anyway is running the ball.
It ain't the only one over there. He's not on the only one on that left side.
Hold on. But also, Canales. Even though yes, I don't like all of Canales' play calling, but at the same time, you have to have a balanced offense. You can't run. Like these running backs aren't machines, bro. Like they need a break or two here and there. So your quarterback has to do what? Do his fucking job and throw the ball. So yeah, you gotta throw the ball sometime. You can't just run. You gotta keep the defense guessing. You gotta keep it balanced. That's the kind of offense I want to see. No, I don't want to see Canales go out here and throw it on 3 downs, three downs in a row. I can't stand when he does dumb shit like that. Yes, I agree on that. But a balanced offense, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see a balanced offense, but I don't want to see a forced offense. And one thing I do know is rule 101 in football is stick with what works. Of course, you're going to have to turn around. You got to throw the ball some, but like be strategic about when you're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like when people say you can't throw. Well, there are some teams that can do that. They can throw, like Kansas City. That's their DNA. Everybody know, look, and I'm not living in the past, but one of the things that Carolina has always lived on is our defense and running backs. 2003, 2015, those were the 2 major things, besides having Cam at quarterback. But, I mean, DeLone ain't nothing to write home about. He's just a Panthers favorite. But those were the 2 things of our DNAs whenever we won games, period, even if we didn't go to the Super Bowl. So, I don't know, man. Look, you want to change up what you do and what you're known for with a guy that's relatively a rookie head coach? It's a chance. It's a chance, bro.
Pickle, go
Right.
ahead,
I
man.
think
Can we be versatile?
yeah, we absolutely we can. And to be honest with you, we just need not to be silly play calling. You know, if you're running to the left side and you're doing a good job running to your left side and you're getting yards, and then all of a sudden you get, say you're in the 10-yard line, you're in the red zone, and you look up and the defense has stacked against the left side. The offensive line stacked. Both safeties are in the box. They're set up to stop that run on that left side. Don't be a dumbass and run to the left side that one play.
Exactly.
Play action that sucker and throw it to the right side in the end zone for a wide open tight end touchdown to my man, Mitch Evans. But
Yeah.
Canales doesn't do that sometimes. Sometimes Canales will run to the left side and he'll do it repetitively until you're like fourth down and you're 4th and 10 or 4th and 20. And then you have to rely on your rookie kicker to make a field goal to score points. Stuff like that pisses you off. Or how's this? You run it on first down, you get nothing. You're down by 4 points. What do? Dave Canales is 3 and 10 on fourth down. Or it's 3 and 1, 3 and inches. You're going for it on fourth down. He lines up in a 5 wide set and tries to throw the ball for 20 yards.
I feel like, yeah,
Some of that
Canales.
play calling is absolutely it's just.
I feel like all of the worst performances that the Panthers have had this year,
Right.
Dave Canales' play calling made it a compound effect. It made it even worse than it had to be based on what Canales was doing. And that's what gives me pause on this guy. Like, I so badly want to like him and feel like he is the coach of the future. I hear what Pop Antoine say about, hey, man, let him have the opportunity to get his own quarterback. There's a part of me who thinks that too. But I feel like a good coach knows how to play to the strength of the offense.
Correct.
And I feel like he doesn't do that a lot.
He doesn't do it enough. He has focus issues, but it is Bryce's third year.
Oh yeah, hey, I feel you, man. I'm on your side, man. Like, Bryce needs every opportunity to earn his money and change minds.
Yeah,
because mine is one of those minds who isn't changed, you know.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor, Cody? Can you look up when that what's the running back we got from Texas? What?
Jonathan Brooks.
Jonathan Brooks.
So I did see today that he was catching passes and running at half speed on the sideline.
Oh shit! That's
at practice.
He's out. He's out for the year though. He won't. We won't be back next year anyway.
Yeah.
But I do think that it is a good thing that
it's good that he's practicing and moving around.
Move on from him.
Nobody would take him. Nobody would take him.
Well, not right now, but you always get next year.
When he gets healthy, they will.
Somebody might next year. Somebody. But Mr. Clean Straight Up said Andy or Hooker calls Bryce duck and smoke. I'm sure you're not thinking Andy Dalton is this. Nah, you own something, bro.
Does Andy Dalton give us a better chance to beat Green Bay than Bryce Young?
Cody, man, shut him up.
All right, I'm ahead.
Andy Dalton should be allowed on the field anymore.
You're right. Andy Dalton deserves to back up the quarterback's coach.
He shouldn't be allowed in the building.
Why not? Do y'all? So is Mike White officially going to be the backup? Is that what they're saying?
No. He should be. By all means, he should be. But Dave Canales said Andy will still be the backup.
So
I'm gonna find that post.
Stop right there, and I'm not even gonna give y'all no loans. I'm not even gonna give y'all no long soliloquy. So if you come out and announce that Andy Dalton is going to be the backup after all the performances we've seen from him, starting with preseason when he was out there doing silly, stupid shit, and you announce to people that he's still gonna be the backup. Well, you got 2 other guys back there that you can try and see what they got or whatever. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to Canales. That's stupid. That's dumb. And then he thinks we just gonna keep listening to him with his kumbaya ass and go, we've got to be
private
better.
chat, Cody.
And blah, blah, you've got to
Put the
be
link.
better. Talking about we got to be better.
Right. Yeah. Cody gets this link pulled up. Y'all blow my mind. Now this is
Where's the
Joe
Person?
Person.
I didn't. Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, Joe Person via Darren Gant. So it's the official website, but it's on Twitter via Joe Person. It blew my mind.
What?
And
that is pretty wild. Hold on, I'll pull it up.
it blew. I had to read that 3 times, and I thought, what the hell? All right, Canales, you way out there on left field. I'm hoping this is a scheme in his greedy little mind to make people think that Andy's going to be the backup, and really Andy ain't.
Okay. Andy Dalton.
Know what he's doing, man.
Yeah, this is from today from Joe Person. Andy Dalton listed as questionable, but Dave Canales expects him to play via Darren Gant. Canales said Andy will be the backup. He demonstrated the ability to control the ball, throw it. Really amazing, unbelievable. I'm very grateful that he's able to play through stuff.
He's grateful for that, y'all. He's grateful for that.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair,
comment right down there.
To be fair to the Red Rifle, the man broke his thumb. Boy,
yeah,
he ain't break shit.
I told you that, Cody.
He ain't break his fucking thumb. About as much as Bryce. About as much as Bryce was hurt on that leg.
Why would they lie for him, though?
But let me ask y'all this. Bryce Young missed a whole game with a high ankle sprain. But Andy doesn't have to miss a game with a broke thumb. Now I don't know about y'all.
Understand. It ain't even on his throwing hand.
How do you hold a gun, a rifle, with a broke thumb like that? That's one. That's got to be hard. And number two, why would you force him to be in that situation in the first place? Why is he out there throwing with a broke thumb?
Yeah. And the response was, well, Hendon Hooker's the backup, and they didn't trust him. Then what? Well, Mike White was on the practice squad, exact same spot. Neither one of them were pulled up to the 53-man roster. They elevated one. They had 2 quarterbacks on the practice squad last week. They elevated one just to use him as a backup in a game. It's happened before. It makes no sense. Well, then a few days later, now Hooker don't get to play because you don't trust him to go in there when Andy Dalton lamed up.
Now, Mr. Clean straight up says Bryce Young ducking smoke.
Yeah, that's what I just read. Yeah, that's bullshit. Okay, I'll be honest with you, folks. You might not like it, but right now, currently, Bryce Young is our best quarterback on this roster. It might not be fair. I agree with you. It ain't fair. But he is. He is.
If he's not, who's better?
But we know Andy Dalton ain't the best backup. We know that.
Right.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, I'd release him. I'd have released him Monday.
So look, I want
to
stay on Canales' ass too, man. So
Canales,
or they insinuate things like what Pickle just said when they said, "Well, we don't trust Hooker yet," or whatever. Well, one, y'all won't show us Hooker. One thing that Pop pointed out is how they show Andy Dalton and Bryce Young on the sidelines all the time. But even when Hendon Hooker dressed out, they didn't put the camera on him at all.
No.
They kept the camera off of him. So listen, my thing is this, listen. But this is the football politics. But when Canales goes to a podium and when we get some real people that's willing to ask some real questions, tells Canales, what is it about Hendon Hooker that you don't trust or whatever? Then all he does is bubblegum his ass around that question and go, we're still evaluating him, blah, blah, blah. He'll say something good. He'll be like, I got faith in him and blah, blah, blah. But why don't you trust him now? Don't leave that question. He's not going to answer it. He's not.
Right. Absolutely. You're right. He ain't going to.
Lots of coach speak.
I mean, I still yet.
That's a bullshit ass. Like, who's pulling the strings, bro? It might be time now for us to hear from, but he ain't gonna do no better. Dan Morgan is not going to do anything any better. We got two of the most secretive motherfuckers in the NFL that just don't like to talk about nothing.
Hey, shout out to Super Lube. He says, "What happened to wanting dogs? If he played the entire game with a broke thumb, that's a
There ain't no
dog."
damn dog.
But this is what I'm saying though, man. Like, and this is why I want Bryce. This is why, yeah. This is why I want Bryce to play, bro. You're the franchise quarterback. If you're hurt, you better be doing everything that you can to get on the field, even if you're banged up. And by the way, I'm not saying that Bryce didn't want to play, because according to all reports, he was running, he was out there doing his thing, he was trying to play, but the coaching staff decided to go with Dalton. But my thing is that when you go out there and you gut it out for your football team, I will never blame a person for that, just like I never blame Cam Newton at the end of 2018 and 2019 when he was doing everything in his power to win football games, and he wanted to be out there and playing, even though he was hurt, that it was a detriment to the team. I blame Ron Rivera for that.
Difference in that situation, Cody, is this. Cam needed to be safe from himself at that time, and he probably shouldn't have played.
Correct.
Bryce Young is in a situation where he's playing for his money.
Correct.
You should be in Canales' face like, ain't no fucking way you taking me off this field. I'm in a contract year, bro. Bryce should be begging to be on the field, bro.
Right. I'm going to say this. Playing with a broken finger, that might make you old man. That makes you old man tough, but you're a quarterback. That don't make you a dog. Let me tell you something. If you're going into a fight, right? You're going down this alley. It's you, one other guy, and a whole bunch of the other guys, and you have to go down this aisle and fight. Your best bro is going to go down there with you. But now, he got 2 broke legs, broke arm, head 50, 100 stitches, half a brain missing. He don't know he's in this world, and he's on the ventilator. But he's a badass. How the hell he going to help you in that fight? He ain't. So reality is, Andy Dalton, no matter how much you want to think he's tough, he still sucked.
He did suck.
I mean, he's a dog. Well, whoopee-doo. So he's a lousy dog. It's like going into a dog fight with German Shepherds, and you're going to bring your Chihuahua. We'll see how that works.
Yeah, probably not too
still
much.
Suck.
But, hey, I don't know, man. Like, I want to be able to see Hendon Hooker play. Like, I want to see what we have in the dude. I'm not under the delusion like some fans are that he's going to come in here and just burn it up and be the number 1 quarterback on the team. But I do want to see what we have in him. If not, why would you sign him? Why would you bring him here?
I don't think it's free. It's really with the I don't think it's free journalism anymore, man, in a lot of ways. And we could go way off into worldly journalism, but I'm going to stick with sports journalism. I believe teams are telling these journalists what they can and can't ask questions about, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is no way
I agree to that.
It is no way in hell none of those reporters for us is not asking these guys about White and Hooker. It's no way that they're sitting there just solidly standing by and not questioning them about those. Man, look, we saw what Andy Dalton looked absolutely horrible. Don't come up here and tell us that he played all right when we know he didn't, and you know he didn't. So it's no way those reporters are shying away from those questions. I think between either Tepper or whoever is going, before we hit the live button, look, please don't ask no questions about this and blah, blah, blah. We don't want to get more shit started than blah, blah, blah. That's not how free journalism works. You're supposed to sit up there and take the hard questions, bro. As long as they're not disrespectful.
And you know what's funny, Twan? Because the person who I feel does that the most, even though people give him the most shit, is David Newton.
Yep.
And like David Newton, sometimes he'll say some wild shit. I don't like what he said to Xavier Leggett about his father. That shit was insensitive. But I do feel like Dave Newton will take the opportunity to push those questions and really kind of try to get the answer and get through some of the bullshit, So I do think that's true. when it comes to Dalton, though, you know how we've been giving Chuba the starts over Rico, and it kind of feels like they've been doing it just because he's been a captain, he's been on this team forever. Everybody really likes him, but even though Rico's the hot hand, their favoritism toward Chuba prevented them from doing so. I kind of feel like there's a little bit of that with Andy Dalton. They like the guy. He's been a professional. He's been here a long time now.
Been
He's
helping
been a guy.
Bryce.
Yes, and he's been able to throw for over 300 yards anytime that Bryce has been out in previous seasons. So it's like I feel like there's a little bit of too much of a trust built up on what he used to do rather than what he's capable of doing right now.
They'd rather have him on the sidelines, helping Bryce on the field if anything's going down, than Hendon Hooker or
Put his ass in the booth.
But I let's take a deeper dive with this. If Hendon Hooker and Andy Dalton are both on the practice squad, trying to play like the team you're playing next quarterback, how is that possible? Because I can't think of Andy Dalton trying to play like any of the quarterbacks that we've played so far.
No, he can't. I mean, he can't. I don't think he can.
How are you going to play like Tua? Right. How are you going to play like Josh Allen? How are you going to imitate any of those guys? For about 62 miles.
Right.
Yeah, I know. It don't make a lot of sense.
It's kind of weird.
It makes sense if you're the head coach and you're believing that your defense is elite and your defense is facing an Andy Dalton every day in practice, it makes sense. Because if that's the best in practice your defense is going to get, no wonder they think they're elite. Because Andy Dalton,
just want to beat a good team, man. Like with the fact that we got dog walked by every good team that we played, like that don't speak well on us, man. Look, you know what I mean? It just don't.
I keep going back to it. Listen, I'm not saying what Canales can't be. He ain't ready, man. He's just 1 year.
I agree with you.
He's just 1 year, and Pickles heard me say this 1,000 times. He's just 1 year as an offensive coordinator. Your next job should not be head coach and offensive coordinator.
Right.
Like it's happening too fast for him. He don't know what he's doing, bro. Mm-hmm. He doesn't, but he don't have the heart or the balls because he ain't never gonna say that because you don't. That's an NFL sin to say I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Because deep down, Canales knows in his head, I didn't earn this job outright. I didn't get this job the right way. I didn't go through the proper, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready for this. But who's going to turn down a head coaching job? He knows that they only brought me in here because they couldn't get anybody else. Look, man, the whole
but it's on him to make the most of that opportunity, though, man.
Yeah, and I love it for people out there that says, I hate the whole nice guy, brush nickel dude that he wants to try to be and positive or whatever. Man, that shit don't get us nowhere. And frankly, for me, I don't even like that coaching style. That's shitty. But don't come to the podium and keep lying to us, man. I'd rather you just don't say nothing. Just say next question. I'd rather you do that.
Yeah.
Then to get up there and go, well, I thought we played a great game today. We scored 3 points.
Yeah,
right.
No, we didn't.
Please. He's just there so he won't get fined. That's why he's there. He don't want to talk. He's just there because he don't want to get fined.
Yep, Locks, man. We're shot back in here. What's up? What's up, Locks?
Yo. Hey.
What's up, Locks?
Good, sweet.
Yeah, man. Like it's like, man, like we know it's politics in every professional sport, man. It's just like I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I only look at the interviews after the game. All the press conferences they do heading up to that, I don't want to hear Canales, bro. I don't want to hear his ass, bro. I don't want to hear his cheerleading ass.
How many fan bases like to hear their coach talk? You know what I mean? Like, are there how many coaches are like, yeah, I'd love to hear the, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of those. Maybe Mike Tomlin. I feel like Tomlin probably has some good insights, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of these coaches are just they're so media trained, bro. Like they know. Yeah, they know how to say a bunch without saying nothing at all, man.
But being media trained can make you look stupid at the same time. The reason why we like people like Tomlin sometimes and other guys and the old school coaches back in the day was because if they were angry about something, like when we heard all the clips in the past, man, like we had them and we let them go, you know what I'm saying? Or you play to win the game, you know what I'm saying? It made people who watch the game feel like, okay, that coach gets it. He feels just like I feel.
Yeah.
Opposed to bringing your ass up there smiling like, it's just a game. We'll get him next week, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Man, fuck that. Canales is soft. I don't know another softer coach than him, bro.
This is sort of what they say about Bryce, though, right? That he doesn't have the high highs, that he doesn't have the low lows. He's just even keel. He's, straight through all the way. That, you know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't react emotionally to anything. And I feel Canales is sort of similar. So I understood why maybe Tepper felt like this was the perfect player, or rather the perfect coach to get the most out of Bryce. So I don't know. It's worth.
But Cody, you and I know that Bryce needs a coach that's gonna put a foot in his ass, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean,
not good enough. When he do something wrong, we worked on that. Not good enough.
Some players respond to different coaching styles differently.
Pickle, what I'm about to say, Pickle? What I'm about to say? Tell him, Pickle. What am I about to say? If you don't respond to a motherfucker yelling at you and you're a grown man in a pro league, then you shouldn't be playing what?
Football. You don't need it. It's out of your league.
Go ice skate or some shit.
Right. But I mean, that for some reason that is he's not. Canales isn't the only coach that's soft. Mike McDaniels for the Fish is soft. There's a lot of coaches out there that are soft. Why? Because
hey, guess what? I'm gonna give y'all a name of a real nice coach by the name of Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil, yeah.
He was that way.
He was that damn nice.
Yeah, he was always crying. He was always crying, and he won a lot of games, though. He won,
right.
Emotion,
right.
I did.
That's not my style, coach. I'll just say that. That's not my style.
I wanted to bring up this comment though from Superloop. Says the last time they played the Packers was arguably one of the best games for Bryce. He has the chance to play like that if he wants to win a big game. So that is a good point that I forgot about. Bryce, before that Falcons game at the end of the year last year, people pretty much considered the Packers game to be Bryce's best performance.
But we lost.
I know, and it was a losing performance. Yes, we did lose, and we made Jordan Love. We made Jordan Love look like Patrick Mahomes.
That was when Panthers fans were at our very low because, like you said, a lot of people was looking at that game like a win. I was like, you guys have lost y'all fucking minds when y'all are celebrating almost won.
But the situation is different this time. I mean, I know that people are hyped about maybe that was the turning point.
It had to
for
be
Bryce.
come from somebody's grandma's closet.
But the office, the problem is that we're banged up. We're banged up on both sides of the ball. And especially on the side that they needs to keep Bryce standing upright, they're really messed up. So I don't think he's going to have that same type of performance because he doesn't have the same type of protection.
I
Yeah.
mean, the line looking like the line that he played with when we, it's busted up. The line he had then was trash.
I mean, you might have no Gabriel Lewis. We might have no.
We got backups that's out.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Bro,
saying, man. Like,
you got third string linemen out there, bro. Like we weren't that bad when we played Green Bay. We went down to our third.
Nah, we wasn't. We wasn't
against Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary, both of whom are pushing double-digit sacks.
They are ranked number 6 overall in defense.
Hey, man, no problem. We got the elite superstar Rico Dabble and the ever popular, multi-talented, the best that ever could be quarterback, the king of the kings, Bryce the Glorious Young. Or that's what I was told the other day.
I'm ahead.
I thought he'd kick me out. So far, he's kicked himself out twice. What the hell, Cody?
I can't take it no more, Bagel. If I hear any more fucking King Bryce, I'm gonna fucking throw myself off a ledge. I mean, hey, look, I want him to prove himself to be that. But I also hate these scenarios, man, that it's like, okay, for example, if Bryce Young goes out and shits the bed against the Packers, all of his super fans are going to have every excuse in the world to say, oh, man, the offensive line was trash. We're playing one of the best teams in football. He needs more. He needs more around him. And I'm like, all right, bro.
Man,
maybe
nobody
so.
listens to those motherfuckers no more, man.
But I feel like it's every person on Twitter.
No, hey, look. Look. Bryce Young fans have no juice left. They have no petroleum left in the gas, in the car. And if they got electric cars, then it's like 1,000 miles away before you can get to the next charge. It's nothing they could literally say about this guy to convince people that don't fuck with him to see it their way in the slightest. My thing is, and I keep saying it, bro, if Bryce goes to another team, please go with him. Follow his ass wherever he goes. Because y'all are not Panthers fans. Y'all Bryce fans.
I put that out on Twitter, bro. And, people either love my ass or hate my ass. I got so many people agreeing with me, but then so many people that was just like, fuck you. How dare you? Bryce Young is the quarterback for the Panthers. How are you a Panthers fan and not a Bryce Young fan? And it's like, bro, I'm just fucking tired of these numbskulls, bro.
Because I don't like losers.
Tiresome.
That shit. I don't like fucking losers.
And by the way, I can 100% be proven wrong.
100%.
But it's like Bryce needs to be the one to prove us wrong, man. And then we'll happily be wrong.
He ain't gonna do that.
If there's any game that Bryce Young needs to have, need to put a team on his back, it's this game. I'm not asking Bryce to do it every week, this, that, and other. But he needs to have at least one really, really good game where it's like, okay, it was Bryce. It was Bryce that willed that win this past week. I don't think I've seen that quite yet. Maybe the Atlanta game last year, but that was kind of back and forth. But yeah, I can say the Atlanta game was the game that he did that. He needs to have that same type of game this year, especially with everything we got going on. But those are things you need to see him do for this upcoming game.
Right, and I agree. If Bryce can come out during this Packer game and really, offensive line injury aside, if he can put this game on his shoulders and kind of will this team to win, play excellent football, keep the, don't turn over the ball. It's going to carry a lot of weight going forward to people like me who's always a little bit doubtful. It'll carry a lot of weight. But till he has a game like that, there's always going to be a smidgen of doubt floating around. There always will be till he has a game like that.
Because Pickle. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
People keep wanting him to be the franchise quarterback that you traded all those picks and players to get. So far, he's just not been that. And he'll always have that criticism because he's not lived up to all those picks and all those players we lost to get him. That's always going to be that way until he lives up to it.
You know what we're asking Bryce to do on Sundays? We're asking him to be pumped up and to go out there and have confidence and go out there and not turn the ball over and to go out there and be patient in the pocket and find your open guys and to go through his progressions and to take off running whenever it allows you to do that and to audible, which he doesn't do very much, or he audibles to a run play, and to rally the troops on the field. You know, all things that they ask quarterbacks to do, you know what I'm saying, to keep those guys together and energize on the sideline and not give it and to not give the ball away. That motherfucker's never going to give you even fucking half of that every Sunday.
Yeah.
Bryce, people that love Bryce Young, man, he's not an NFL quarterback. He's not going to go to another team and succeed. He's not.
See, here's the thing. I'll be fair. I think he's an NFL quarterback in the same way I think a lot of dudes can make a living playing quarterback in the NFL, but he's not this top-tier quarterback that people want him to be. You know, at least he's not consistently doing that enough. So, for example, if you look at Tua Tagovailoa, like, to me, I always said that was the best that Bryce could hope to be, a Tua-style quarterback. And you see what he is. They paid Tua all that money, and they're going to end up regretting it because, yeah, he'll have a one-off game against the Falcons where he's throwing for 4 touchdowns. But then other than that, he's thrown the most interceptions in the NFL this year. Like, there's levels to this shit, and I just feel like he's not on that level, man. He's not on that level.
If I ask all of y'all, what quarterback has played for the Carolina Panthers, right, that you would compare that Bryce comes closest to in our past? He ain't got to be exact copy. What quarterback in the past have we had that Bryce's skills come the closest to, or probably gave the same amount of whatever he gives? Who would you say that quarterback is?
Jimmy Clausen. Matt Corral.
All right, bye, Pickle.
It's getting worse.
You didn't like that Matt Corral comment, man.
No, how dare you?
Tony Tuesday. Tony told you something, Cody, and he was right.
What?
Okay, Jake said Teddy Bridgewater. Fuck no. Teddy Bridgewater is miles ahead of Bryce.
Well, I don't know about miles, but Matt Moore.
I agree with Matt Moore.
Sam Darnold.
I can see it. No, it depends. Them two have been. See, the difference is Bryce fits.
The reason why, the reason why I asked that question is the reason why I asked that question. So when you say who that quarterback was, and then you have to say, was that a good quarterback? Matt Moore was just.
He was all right. He was all right.
I remember when people got so mad at me for saying that Bryce Young at his best would be comparable to Brock Purdy. And people flamed my ass.
I would have flamed your ass too.
Like, how dare I? But now it's like, now I would flame my ass too. I would flame my ass too because now
I would have flamed the
Bryce
shit
is nowhere near the level of Brock Purdy through this many games of his career.
Yeah, but you can't. No, we're not going there. Kyle Shanahan has an entire system built around a style of quarterback. That style of quarterback fits perfectly with Brock Purdy, Jones, their backup quarterback, Bryce Young would fit that to a T. Almost any quarterback in the NFL would fit that defense, that offense to a T. So I don't know that you can exactly say that, but I do understand where you're getting at. But a lot of the quarterbacks under Kyle Shanahan are built fit a certain quarterback, and it's the West Coast style offense. The primary run West Coast style offense. I think Bryce would fit great in that system, but you don't trade everything. You don't trade a top Hall of Fame running back and the number one wide receiver and a shitload of other picks just to have the opportunity to draft a average West Coast offense quarterback. You just don't do that, and that's what I feel we did.
Hey man,
yeah, folks. For anybody doubt me in the chat, I've had this conversation with G Baby, and he understands my point. Okay,
let me welcome in my boy Jake the Snake back on the free for all. Jake, what's up,
Jake?
dude?
What's up, y'all?
Chilling, man. How you living, bro?
I'm doing all right, Cody. Happy Halloween to everybody in here. Happy Halloween to everybody that celebrates this.
Happy Halloween.
But I'm still gonna stick with my Teddy Bridgewater comparison, Twan, and I'll tell you why I got him compared. Because if you remember, Teddy Bridgewater used to throw them short throws all the time. That's what when he had that. I think he had 3,000 yard passing that year. That a real good year with us. Well, to some really good year. But that's how he played the whole entire time, and them short dink and dunk passes the whole entire time was how he played. And I still think that's compared to like how Bryce Young plays. I mean, his most accurate balls are within 10 to 15 yards, somewhere around there.
No, he threw up the field. I mean, we had Robbie Chosen, whatever his name is.
I mean, he did, but I still think
he threw 1,000 to two different players. Bryce ain't never.
A lot of that was yards after catch.
I do agree, though, that Teddy was never the type of dude to push the ball. Like, that's why we wanted someone when we were drafting a quarterback, somebody that was going to be the difference compared to what all the other quarterbacks up to that point had been for us, you know? And Sam Darnold did it, but he was very erratic, turned the ball over, Baker Mayfield to another extent, whereas Teddy Bridgewater had a good completion percentage, but he just wouldn't push the ball on a lot of those deep shots that we would want him to.
Sam Darnold got his confidence back when we had Wilkes, though.
Oh yeah, bro. I never had a problem long term with Sam Darnold like a lot of Panther fans did. I just didn't, man. Hey, let me welcome Anthony back on the free for all. What's up, man? How you living, bro?
What's up?
Yo, Ant, you there? You're muted, bro.
He heard us talk about Sam Darnold and said, I ain't comment on that.
Now he dropped it. He must be
That's what it was.
We'll get back to him.
Yeah.
But Jake, let me get you in on this, bro. Can Bryce survive Lambeau and that Packers front seven without his starting lineman in front of him?
I hope so. I mean, I'll be honest with you. My expectations that I hope for is I just want this game to be close, y'all. I really do. I don't want it to be a blowout. I don't want to wait in the third quarter and we're down by 20 plus points and we're like, oh God, I got a whole nother quarter after this. I just really want it to be close, and the injuries. I don't want Bryce Young to get hurt because we have learned that no matter what, Andy Dalton's going to be in there. Hooker's not going to get a chance. White's probably never going to get a chance. It's going to be Andy Dalton with a broken thumb. And I definitely do not like that combination. And my thing about Canales is if you're not going to play Hooker, which he should have last week when Andy Dalton got hurt, because apparently they knew that he got hurt in the first quarter early in the game, supposedly, then why is he on this roster? This dude's been on this roster for 2 months now. He knows somewhat of the playbook, and he could not have been worse than Andy Dalton in that game. There's no way possible he could have been worse than Andy Dalton in that game. The dude got sacked 7 times, turned the ball over 3 times. No, I'm sorry. I don't like that. If you got this guy on this roster, play the man. He cannot be worse than Andy Dalton.
Right. I 100% agree.
Well, tell us why you don't trust him and stop lying.
Well, I don't trust who? Canales?
I'm talking about Canales telling us why he don't trust Hooker.
I don't know why. I mean, I don't know how to answer that question, Twan, because the whole narrative was that Canales loved Hooker. That, I mean, they supposedly, when he was getting drafted, they had they actually talked during the draft process, and he really liked the interview. I don't know why. I don't know why there's a disconnect. I mean, truly, Twan, I don't know why. They should have played him. I mean, they really should have played. Unless he's going by the whole leadership narrative, and I think that's bullshit. I mean, Andy Dalton can be a leader on the sideline and talk to Bryce Young, help him with this and that. I'm perfectly fine with that. But I don't want to see Andy Dalton on that field, bro. I just don't.
So what do y'all feel when I say this? When Canales tells us who he trusts and who he don't trust?
I haven't heard Canales. I haven't heard Canales say he doesn't trust. I haven't heard Canales say he doesn't trust in the Hooker yet. So I don't know where that's going.
Hey, Twan.
Yeah.
Hey, Twan, he doesn't trust himself, man.
Exactly.
That's my opinion.
What I was going to say is he's been in the league, but he ain't been a coach or offensive coordinator long enough to be evaluating talent like that.
Right. And so many people have this because he hung around, because he was around when Geno Smith got developed, and he spent a year with Brady Christensen. People, not the media mainly, fans mainly, gave him this label of a quarterback guru. He is not a quarterback guru, never has been.
Right.
He was wide receivers coach and a passing game coordinator in Tampa or in Seattle, and then when he became an offensive coordinator, his 1 year with the Bucs. So he's never been a quarterback guru. He's been a wide receivers coach more than ever anything to do with a quarterback. Now, here's what I think about the Hooker situation. Okay, I think he has a long-term interest in Hooker. I don't think he has a short-term interest in Hooker. Now, I wonder, and it's strictly my thought process driving back from visiting my mama in Rowan Mountain Nursing Home today, because I got stuck behind a car wreck and I had to sit there almost an hour and aggravating me. Anyway, so here's what I was thinking. What if Canales had in his head he's developing a long-term prospect, either not necessarily a starter or a backup, but just a long-term quarterback. And Hooker could be the guy. They could also bring in a different guy and let those two guys compete. But if Canales sat there and looked at that Bills game and thought process and said, if I stick Hooker out there, would it hurt him or help him?
Yeah, you cooking, Pickle. That's the same way I was thinking.
If it would hurt Hooker in his current development to go out there, I would put it. We've all said it before. Bryce should have never played his rookie year. We all of us have said that. He should never have played his rookie year. Now this ain't Hendon's rookie year, but you know, it is what it is. If you're going to put a quarterback out there just to sacrifice him because you know his time almost up, it'd be Andy.
So hey, Pickle, that's how I know Canales ain't going nowhere. Who's to say that they haven't already talked about, you know what, if Bryce don't work out, we have at least developed a guy who's been in the NFL for 3 years.
You're right.
Who sat and learned our system.
Right.
That we can put out next year. Next year, we're not going to get a quarterback. We're going to go get the best linebacker that's on the board. That's our plan. We ain't got to pay a whole bunch of money to hit the Hooker.
Right.
Now, he don't go get a quarterback.
The bridge.
Hold on. You're not thinking though. Go ahead, Bob.
He can either be the bridge to what we're trying to get to, or he can mess around and be the guy. But right now, let's just see us developing him for a whole year. He sit. Because I think Canales ain't gonna put him out there until he puts him in the best situation. That's when everybody's healthy, when he got all his weapons. He's holding them
Right.
close to the heart. I told this to Twan too. But as we jump a little bit deeper with it, I like where you're going with it. That's why I said, what if they have already talked about this? Say, you know what, Canales,
Right.
you develop him. We got to see what Bryce is going to do.
Right.
Hey, and he's expendable.
So why bring him out there in a fucking uniform? You know he ain't gonna play, bro.
They already knew that.
Yeah, because okay, Cody brought this up the other day in a chat, and we were having the same conversation. Cody's thought process was the reason why they didn't put Hooker out there is because Hooker is because the reason why they didn't play Mike White instead of Hooker was because Mike may not have knew the playbook.
He don't know.
All of the things that go along with playing quarterback.
You don't know the verbiage. You don't know anything.
Yeah, the verbiage, the audibles, the protection.
And not only that, that was supposed to be the Andy Dalton game because Buffalo loved him for all that money that he's donated and things like that. So that was supposed to be the Andy Dalton game. So he wasn't gonna take Andy Dalton out, period. After I sat here and thought about it, he wasn't gonna take him out.
Right, and the one thing about it is Hooker's 27. Y'all go back and look how old Geno Smith was when he got to Seattle. I want you all to think about when Baker Mayfield ended up going to Tampa. A lot of people think that Canales wants a rookie quarterback. Canales have never said he wants a rookie quarterback. That's all a fan's idea. That's all fans.
If he don't want his seat hot, he better start thinking about all things.
Canales is where he's at by developing veteran quarterbacks. He helped or supported Geno Smith development.
And I agree with it.
Tampa is called the development of Baker. So drafting a quarterback is not in his wheelhouse. He's never developed a quarterback in his life. That's not a veteran. Developing a rookie quarterback may not be in that wheelhouse.
So hold on. Let me bring in Anthony. Anthony, what's up, bro? Welcome back to the Free for All, dude.
What's up? No, my connection was just shaky.
No,
how you boys doing, man?
Doing good, man. Hey, tell me what you're expecting from Bryce Young against the Green Bay Packers front seven on the road with a dicey offensive lineup, bro.
Not confident, man. Not confident. I hate saying that. It's the offensive line for me. There's so many injuries, and mainly it's for me. It goes above Bryce Young. I mentioned this a little bit, this past week, but I just have no confidence we can beat a serious team right now. I just don't have that confidence. I don't know if the team is mentally ready to go ahead and actually compete with a team like the Packers. That's my personal opinion. Until that changes, maybe it's this week, but I don't have confidence in the team on the road in general. We'll see what happens though. But yeah, so many injuries. It's not looking good right now for this week.
Do you think it changes anything though with Rico getting the bulk of the snaps at running back as the starting running back?
I do. I think that will help the offense. But I think also I mainly need to see our pass game improve. Outside of T-Mac, we haven't been able to get anyone else going. So, we'll see what Coker does this week, Leggett. But overall, it's just, I think the run game is going to help. But I don't know if it's going to change the fact that Bryce Young, we do not have a vertical pass game, man, as an offense.
I want to ask Anna a question. Well, I want to ask all of y'all, though. Do y'all really think, and I want y'all honest opinion, not do y'all think the wide receivers on this team, if asked and there was no cameras around, it's just me and you, and someone said, do you want to continue your career with Bryce Young at quarterback? How many of them do you think would say yes?
I don't know. I don't pretend to be in their head.
I don't know. I mean, honestly,
not even
probably more than we would like to admit.
Nah,
I feel like
I think right now Tep would be like, "Fuck that Cali to Cali connection. It ain't working."
Yeah, the dude. Well, you know what it is.
I don't know, man.
You know what it is, Twan. I think Bryce is a good person, and I think he's like embodies some stuff about growing as a leader. But when you step on the field for his play, it's a completely different story, and that's where I feel like these receivers they're like, all right, what are we doing here? You know, that kind of thing.
I agree. I agree with
and,
Dan on
and
that.
the reason why I said that is because of this one word: incentives. If Cody's if Ant is the quarterback on our team and Ant is fucking up my incentives, I love you off the field, bro. I just don't want to continue my career with you.
You're playing with my money, Juan. I get it. I get it. You're playing with my money. I absolutely get that. But I definitely agree with that. As a person, outside of football, Bryce Young probably is one of the best people you can actually hang out with, chill with, talk. Absolutely, I agree 100% with that. On the field, though, I mean, hey, if you're hurting my production, my pay, there might be a little bit of drift of a situation, a relationship on the field wise. I definitely agree with that as well.
So what you're saying is if Bryce was a running quarterback and he ran more than he threw,
a better quarterback,
and you had to no, I understand what you're saying. My thought process goes back to an old wide receiver and an old quarterback we used to have on this team. But I don't want to. I don't want people to blow up at me, so I ain't gonna say no names.
But listen, when we've all been down on the defense and how bad the defense has been, one of the things that I've said, which I didn't think a lot of people like to hear, is that I felt a lot of the players on the team really liked and had respect for Ejiro Evero. And, whether or not you love the defensive scheme or not, I feel like the players do like to play under him and what he does on defense. So that's what I'm saying, Twan. Like, we might not want to hear it, but, dude, those players might be more favorable than you think of Bryce Young. Like,
no. Cody, hold up. Let me push back on Cody with that. Cody, players that are favorable to these guys are players that receive playing time from these guys, like DJ John when he was here. That what I'm saying. But guys that are in the middle of getting paid and incentives and they money get ready to come up, and like you out here calling goofy shit, and then I don't get to make the plays I get to make. Can you imagine? That's what I was saying. I've seen in the past where a guy was like, if you get like 17 more yards passing, like you'll hit your $1 million bonus. The NFL holds you to that. So I'll be ready to kill Bryce ass, man. If he get up there and threw an interception and kept me from getting my damn money, man, or whatever. Evero does the same thing, man. Evero is intent on doing shit his way opposed to what works sometimes, bro.
Jake and then Anthony. Go ahead,
we all agree that Bryce Young is the best quarterback that we have on this roster right now. That's not even a comparison. We all know that. It's
sad to say that.
But my thing about this comment that's up right now, if it takes, look, Bryce Young is looking to get his next contract.
Yeah, I
correct?
saw that shit.
I don't want to. If it takes him over half the season to get in a rhythm, that's an issue. I'm sorry. That he needs to be better than that. And I'm not saying that he don't have the chance. He's gonna have as long as he stays healthy and as long as he's out there on the field, he has more than enough time to prove that he can get another contract. But he has to prove it. He has to show up and he has to do his thing. Until then, I mean, like I said, it's in his ballpark. It's all on Bryce Young right now.
I know we love talking about Bryce, but I also want to bring this up one time. I'm seeing another connection too that I don't think anybody has brought up, but I've been seeing this over the last 5 games actually. I'm seeing a Cali to a South Carolina connection. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing true brotherhood being displayed. I'm so glad that we got T Magnificent, because I think he has done nothing but pour confidence in Excel. Yeah. when XL was down, I think it's something about T-Mac that XL gravitates to, and they're like two peas in a pod, like they're totally opposite of each other from two different spectrums of the world.
Right.
And they're like bros over hoes all the time. I've been seeing them on the bench. I've seen in the interviews, and then they just put out a video with them with NASCAR or Formula One, bruh. They got a true bond, and
That's the connection, Pop.
ever since XL got back and got his head together,
Yep.
I've been seeing who is XL looking for after he celebrates. First person is T-Mac. First person is T-Mac.
That's the connection.
Bruh,
It ain't no damn Bryce
love
and
this.
him. That's the connection.
I love this bond because usually it's the wide receiver's looking for his quarterback. No, not in this situation. It's T-Mac and XL, bro.
So you saying it's the Cali to SC connection?
That's what I said. Cali to Carolina, South
Yeah,
Carolina.
that Cali to Cali shit is horrendous. It's trash.
I think the Cali. Listen, Twan, I respect you. You know that. I think it's the opposite what you're saying.
That's easy, man.
The wide receiver. A lot of wide receivers would feel that way if for example, the guy Dante Johnson that we got rid of, he loved the deep passes. He liked to run deep and you throw the ball deep. We know that's not in Bryce's forte. That's one of the reasons why they got rid of him quickly, because he didn't fit that. The receivers we have right now are possession receivers.
Okay.
They don't really have speed. They have possession receivers. They're going to run good routes, and that's where Bryce's accuracy is going to take him to that next level. I think they're happier with Bryce because they don't need to have that elite speed that they know they don't have. Because Bryce can give them those accurate balls. And he damn sure ain't accurate. A lot of quarterbacks in the league with a strong arm doesn't have that elite accuracy, and Bryce does.
And we got a speed guy pickle. We just don't use him correctly.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, but he's a fifth-round pick, and he's got a few years before he has.
All right, go ahead, Anthony.
I personally think, I hear both sides of it, but I just don't think we've even seen how good T-Mac is because we can't throw down the field. Excel too. So it's like, I get the accuracy comments, but I still think we're missing a huge chunk of we're not displaying what these guys can truly be because of our limitations. And I wanted to go back to this. Twan was talking about Evero and how he wants to do things his way. And I'm going to go a step further. I don't really think these players like this coaching staff, man, if I'm being completely honest.
I agree.
And opinionated, because I see a lot of just no consistency from week to week. Like, it feels like we say as fans, we never know what we're going to get. But imagine how the players feel that they never know what we're going to get from a game plan, like schematics, who's starting, this and that.
I got proof, Anthony. Go ahead. I got proof. I'm going to put a cherry on top of what you said. Go ahead. Keep going.
I just think that's a major problem in disconnect. And someone brought it up. I forget who it was last week, but it's almost like this team feels like when we don't have a shot, since we're playing the Bills, it feels like we have no fight. But when we're playing the Dolphins, then it's like, all right, yeah, we believe we can come back in this game. But that's not really how the NFL your mindset should be in the NFL, since it's any given week. And it's also bro, at some point we got to beat a serious team if you want the fans to buy in, because if all we're beating are these sorry teams, then it really just means that we're less sorry than the sorry teams, I guess, is how I'm phrasing it. Now, I'm not trying to go negative or anything, because, we are 4-4, but I find it hard looking at this schedule to really pick us to be favored in any game other than probably the Saints twice, and maybe we get Atlanta. But that I'll pass it, Pop. You can go. But yeah, I'm done ranting a little bit. But there's a lot of things that just confuse me about this team right now.
There
I'm
was
right there
one
with you,
player.
man.
There was one player that pretty much threw Evero underneath the bus, and nobody talked about it. But I'm gonna bring some light to it. Can y'all guess who that was?
Let me guess. Is he
And
still
it's
here?
J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn,
Yeah.
the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
If he goes over there and
He
say,
was like,
"Let's
why
get the
am I
number
not
one,"
on Pickens?
there you go. He was having issues with Efro last year because he wouldn't let him cover the number ones.
Yeah.
It's the
I think
same thing. Now Efro has done a better job this year, but he has focus issues as well.
But I
And
think he has better
Because he wants
personnel.
to do it his own way.
No,
I think that he has better
Why would you not run a
personnel
Pro
this
Bowl
year.
and go check who he wants to check?
But
he
I
does
do
have,
know,
better
and listen,
personnel, but he doesn't
but
use his
you
personnel correctly.
right, but you do know that J.C. Horn is good friends with Stephon Gilmore, and Stephon Gilmore tweeted out, "Why don't we let the best follow the best like they did back in my day?" So I believe that J.C. Horn probably feels the exact same damn way, man.
I think
it wasn't just Gilmore. A bunch of ex players tweeted that.
Yeah.
A bunch of them. So some of them with deep connections to Ejero tweeted the same thing. But
Yeah.
but the one thing, JC went to the coaches and said we need to do this. Ejero claims that if they would come to him and ask him more to do that, he would probably let him do that more.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do they need to ask? Are you not the defensive
Right,
fucking
he
coordinator?
wants somebody to get on their knees and beg them. That
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
oh
No.
gosh.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Jake.
And I think Pickle said this many of times. I think the main issue that we have with this team is just we're too damn young on the coaching staff when it comes to our defensive coordinator and our head coach. I mean, our head coach
We
our
absolutely
head
are.
coach hasn't called plays long enough. Our defensive coordinator hasn't done that long enough either. And I think that's the main issue. Like when we go on game day, like watching Dave
Right.
Canales call plays, I don't know what to expect from this man. I really don't. It's like
Right.
every other week the game plan is different. And I mean, I get that you do have to change it because of the team you're playing. I understand that. But I just it's so hard to evaluate this team because we're so damn young as a head coach. We're so damn young as a defensive coordinator. Our quarterback's in our third year, and in his third year, I should say. And we're young as a team. I mean, we really are. We're young all over the damn place on defensive side, offensive side.
Right.
And it's so hard to evaluate what this team really is right now.
And
Right.
yeah, and Canales, they lucked into Rico Dowdle. He really wasn't even supposed to get any burn this year, really. It's another thing. So I'm with you, Jake. I just feel like for what we've been sold, I just feel like a lot of things have been underwhelming because I do feel like we have some talent on this team. But like you said, we don't know what to expect from a week-to-week basis.
And go figure. I agree with Ant 100%. Because guess what? How much of Rico Dowdle would we have really seen this year if Chuba didn't get hurt?
Not much.
Because Canales was not planning on playing him that much. Even so, and I know Pop tired of hearing me say this, even though when you got a man coming off an injury and you got a running back that ran over almost 500 yards in 2 games of total offense, that you go, how low in the alliance to Chuba, so I'm going to put Chuba back out there and let him start. That's bad coaching.
Well, yeah. So Pop said something too. I wanted to go back to it, Pop. You said that we're not utilizing Jimmy Horn Jr. the proper way. What did you mean by that? And how do you think we need to be utilizing him?
So I mean, he's not just a in the round route guy. You know, you could use him more. He's not just a gadget wide receiver. I don't know why they're trying to use him as a gadget wide receiver.
I don't think they know how to use him. I don't think they're intelligent enough to know that.
And this is coming from an offensive mind. That's what. Sorry, go on, Paul. I got something to say about this.
But you're probably on the same wavelength I'm on. How do you have such a dynamic weapon sitting there? I mean, you need a quick third and 2. There's nobody who can check him in space. Nobody. Like what linebackers be able to cover him? And you need third and 2.
Papa said,
I
he's
was just
35. Oh,
I was
30.
gonna say, like, why are we drafting these players if we have no
to
vision
do
for what
cute
they're
shit.
supposed to be?
Yeah,
You know,
Papa said they should send him on regular fucking routes.
yeah, spin him on
Because
regular
he can
routes.
do it.
Regular routes. He could take the top off. You could use him and you could, the best way to use him also is run a slant for him so when he pops out, Bryce can see him. And you can just dump it off to him, he can go. But you
Guys,
don't.
we got two home run wide receivers on our team with no quarterback that can throw it to either one of them up the field.
Well,
But
That's-
and also, this is
That
where I
don't work
blame.
in the
This is
NFL,
where
bro.
this is where I blame Canales though, because Canales, you're using him to run from one side. He does it 15 times a damn game. He runs from the left side to the field to the right side, full speed. He's so fast, it's ridiculous. Like I want to watch it. I'm like, damn, he got to the other side quick. You're
So,
not
Pop, at
using
some
him right,
point,
man.
I'm going to know that if you send him in motion, he's about to get the ball.
But maybe Canales is saying Bryce can't see him. Why send him out there? Bryce can't see him.
But I
I'm
will
gonna be
say
honest.
this though, and I'm gonna let you go. Is that when Bryce had Jameson Williams at Alabama, part of the reason why they were such a good combination is because JMO would win early. He would win early in his routes, and Bryce would know that he would be open and he would know where he was, so he could get the ball out of his hands real quick.
Cody, I said that last week. I
Yes,
said
I
use him like
agree with
Jameson
Pop.
Williams.
I agree with Pop. If you give Jimmy Horn Jr. the opportunity to do similar things, he can make similar separation. You just need to give him the opportunity to do so. And I think that could benefit Bryce a ton. But I agree, they're not putting him in those situations to do that and be successful. For the life of me, I don't know why.
Well,
Go
you
ahead,
ain't going to
Aaron.
see it now because we ain't got no line.
Cody, I agree, bro. Like you brought this up last week about like the type of receiver for Bryce, but we can't let Bryce off the hook here because there's been times where our T-Mac, Leggett, like guys have been open downfield and he just can't do it. So like even from
Agreed.
the standpoint that like they're not that type of receiver that you're just talking about, it's like I still just that shouldn't be an excuse for not being able to hit that guy just because like T-Mac doesn't get off the line as fast as Jameson Williams does. If you get what I'm saying, like I still just feel like that's on Bryce. Like
No,
I just feel like we're not. This offense is limited, but Jake brought this up a couple minutes ago about the game plan. And he was talking about last week. He was like, I felt like we were just running a bunch of screens and downfield blockers. I don't know if Canales personally has a downfield attack for this offense. Like, I haven't really seen us go vertical.
Hey, Anthony, he doesn't. I can go ahead and help you
at all. Like, outside of the last drive versus Arizona, where he ran like 4 verts, like he did that 4 times in a row or whatever. That was tough. We have not called up shots, and like I just don't know if that's coaching all the way. I don't know if that's Bryce all the way. But even when Andy was in, we were doing the same type of things. So I'm a little confused, honestly. I mean, second half of the season, maybe it gets better, but I just feel like for an offensive-minded coach, and I know he's young, I know we're gonna cut him some slack there, but I just feel like it's been disappointing. From my end, at least, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, like there's enough blame to go around. I feel like Bryce, there are moments throughout his career in Carolina, has missed a lot of open wide receivers, even back in those early years when people were saying that it was all on everyone else around him. And I do still think that's a problem. I was there at that Atlanta game. There were 3 big-time misses that people don't talk about enough. He had Hunter Renfrow on an out route to the sideline. He had Chuba Hubbard open on a wheel route that he missed that also went through the hands of T-Mac. And he had T-Mac in the middle of the field and just missed him completely.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, that game could have been so much more lopsided if Bryce would have hit some of these layup throws that we drafted him to make. Like the layup throws are supposed to be what Bryce does well, and it just doesn't feel like it does.
I think it was the Cowboys game. I seen Xavier Legette just sitting in the corner of the end zone, waving his hand like, hello, wide, booty, butt naked open.
Yeah.
And Bryce shut it down. I mean, he
Because
had time
Bryce
to
doesn't go through any progressions. He's made up his mind who he's going to throw it to at the hike.
All right, let me throw this out there because I'm gonna pour gas on fire. Could it be some of these situations that Bryce's height really does affect what he sees on the field?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes,
And,
100%.
you know, and
That's his
and
worst. That's his worst enemy. He's not
Right.
tall enough. He cannot see. That's the worst enemy.
right,
That's it.
Bill
Throwing lanes
Polian,
are restricted.
Bill Polian says it on XM Radio on Tuesdays every single day when he talks about Bryce because he goes to every game. John Ellis on his podcast said that every game he's went to the last 2 years, he sits right next to Bill Polian in the reporter's booth. That's where he sits, in the reporter's booth, in the media booth. Bill Polian says one thing you've got to understand. He said Bryce Young will always be 5'9" or 5'10". He will never change that.
You can say
as the
5'9",
coordinator,
that's probably what it is.
I did, but I didn't really mean to say that. But he says he will always be that. You can never help that. So what you have to do is build an offense around that. Just like if you're used to running an offense with the quarterback runs and you get a quarterback who can't run, you have to work your offense around that. He said that's what the Panthers have had to do. And he said that's what Dave Canales is trying to do, to build an offense
You're talking about what Nick
around
Saban did at Alabama.
around what Bryce can't do. Because that's
You know
just,
what?
you're never going to have that. But
And I
now
disagree.
Bill Polian likes Bryce, but he says why he's here and why he's your quarterback, here's what you need to do.
That's what I disagree. I think this, and I said this 2 years ago. This offense is not built for Bryce. The players ain't. None of it.
Y'all saying the same
Well,
thing.
it may not.
Yes, he got some bigger targets. Okay,
Mhm.
we had bigger targets for Cam, but this offense, the players that we got, is not built for Bryce. The offense is built for Bryce. It's in Miami.
Well, I was chatting with
Rams.
White Chocolate the other day. I think it was White Chocolate. I don't know who it was. It was whoever in the group I was chatting with. Might have been Anthony. I don't know. I said, here's what we need to do is do what we're doing. Build, and it's going to come with losses, but you're going to build your team. You're going to find out which guys are better and which guys work. You're going to build your team. And when a situation happens, and you find yourself in that, I brought it up in the chat a while ago, the 5th-year option. I still don't think, as it currently stands, you're going to give Bryce Young, they're going to guarantee Bryce Young nearly $30 million for 1 year. They're not going to do that. They're going to decline his 5th-year option.
Not.
And he's going to enter his 4th year, is going to be his final year under contract. And I'll tell you, because I brought it up, people told me who I should cheer for. If you're drafted at pick 20th in this coming draft, or pick 16, and Sellers is sitting there, do you take him?
I don't think he will be sitting there. I honestly think he'll be back another year in college.
Hey, Pickle. Pickle, to answer your question, I'm leaving that up to Dan Morgan because it's his job to make that decision.
Come on, dude. Don't be a coward. Say what you want to say.
I'll be honest.
If South Carolina beats Clemson at the end of the year, oh yeah, they would fucking draft him.
You already know they're gonna beat
you. Already fucking know, bro.
He just ain't.
You already fucking know.
Hey, going by these drafts, we love to draft some Gamecocks, so it wouldn't surprise me if we do.
Hey, to David Tepper, they've named the building down there off David Tepper, and I think, White Chocolate. I told you I was going to do it. They're going to change the South Carolina. It's not going to be the Gamecocks anymore. Yeah, Jake, you know I'm going to say it. It's going to be the Teppercocks. They're going to change the entire name from the Gamecocks to the Teppercocks.
Wow. I don't think Lenoir's is coming out this year, and he shouldn't come out this year.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't either. Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
he
that's what I
will.
mean.
He's
It
a
makes sense
transfer.
if he
He's a
don't. It
transfer,
really does.
honestly, but that's just
It's like that. It's like that.
He should
What am I trying to
transfer.
think of?
We've been
That
we
that
Yeah, I want him
Texas
to transfer
quarterback.
to
What's
Florida
his name?
State.
Manning. He should no way, shape, or form come out next year, by any means.
it hasn't just been Bryce Young we've cooked on here. Just FYI, we basically cooked everybody. It's not just been
Yeah,
Bryce
I mean,
Young.
I was
Oh
about
yeah,
to
yeah,
say.
for sure, man. Like I mean, Andy, like look, I think that game would have been far more competitive last week if Bryce would have been on the field. But you know, the contingent of fans who think that we would have won that game if Bryce would have been out there. It's like, dude, Bryce is not stopping James Cook from rushing from 216 yards. Like, give me a fucking break, bro.
Yeah,
That shit
historic
ain't
game.
happening, dude.
Bryce
literally
doesn't
had
even
a-
get us up the field right now. The run game gets us up the field. He's throwing touchdowns once we got in the red
Yeah,
zone,
bro.
but he
I
don't
was-
get us up there.
I don't know why Canales even had the balls to start Chuba Hubbard last week. Like that was just, oh my gosh.
He's slow, man. He's slow.
Yeah.
Or somebody else is pulling the strings, and maybe he don't have the power that we think he has.
I'll
Hey,
say this.
Cody,
I'll say this.
I want to say something to the chat real quick, then I'll shut up. Y'all, there's a link. Click on the link or shut the hell up. Damn fucking buttercups.
It's a free for all.
Want to be buttercup sucking up?
Come on,
Shut
boy.
the hell up.
What happened, Pickle? What happened?
You hurt my quarterback's feelings, poor Flint. You know what? Every time we suffer a loss, my feelings get hurt. So suck it up,
Hey,
buttercup.
Pickle, say it. Same thing. My feelings get hurt. I
Right
hate a
there's
loss.
the link. You don't like it, you get on here and tell Panther Pickle to shut the hell up.
Let me ask him a question real quick.
Go ahead.
It won't even be disrespectful, man. Name the last quarterback that's gotten everything that Bryce has gotten. Bryce's record is 10-32, right? 10-32.
It's like 10-26, I think, or something like that.
No, I think it's 10-32. Anyway, who the fuck continues to get to play? What other quarterback has done that? They get to play every year. It's not his problem. It's not his fault. Every year we're gonna continue with him. And then on top of it, y'all want to pay him. What has he done?
The only QBs that get that treatment are the guys that are like already on a long-term contract, so the organization's forced to just
Or a really good backup quarterback.
Yeah.
How
But
many?
on top of it, they want to pay this motherfucker.
No, bro.
Or you got to
I've been
reshoot
saying
the
this.
GM like the one Miami just
Hey, you're not trying to win if you rooting for Bryce Young. He's not a winner.
Our best chance is to find a backup quarterback, or not a backup, find some quarterback that's looking for a change of scenery. Because I've said this, drafting a rookie quarterback is kind of pointless to me because I haven't seen anything that shows we could develop a rookie quarterback as of right now, in my honest opinion.
Dude, you know what pisses me off, man?
It was the second half of what I had to say.
But
if we could trade Bryce Young right now, right at the deadline or whatever, and I'm talking to Bryce fans, what do you think we could get back for him? And be honest. What do you honestly? I'm asking you guys too. What do you think we could honestly get back for him at this point?
Maybe a second round pick if it's a team that really believes in him.
I'd be surprised.
We're coming off a second for Bryce.
I'd be surprised if we got third dead
But
ass.
look, though, I'm telling you, the amount of people, bro, y'all have to keep in mind how people think of us. And
No, that's true. That is
keep
true.
in mind, we have now seen Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold go to other teams and light shit the fuck up. So I do think that there would be teams out there who feel like they could do the same thing for Bryce Young. Because whether we like it or not, there were a lot of people that were really high on Bryce before he was drafted.
You're not wrong.
I don't know, man. You don't think that the 49ers
those guys
or the Rams,
yeah,
the would like a quarterback like Bryce Young. I think that even the Raiders would probably like to have a quarterback like Bryce Young right now.
Well, it wasn't just us. I mean, Baker Mayfield also went to the Rams. They didn't want to keep him either. He wasn't doing so well over there either. He didn't get his mojo back until he went to Tampa Bay.
He called it as Tampa. Could he try out?
They won't blowing his phone up.
He went to the perfect situation, period, for him over there at Tampa, and that's no lie. He damn what a situation for him over there.
If it was one dude I regret giving up at this point, and man, bro, it's taking everything out of me to say this. It's Sam Darnold, bro. But we saw his confidence. But we saw his confidence under Wilkes. It's like, why let him go now? This motherfucker balling now. And then he continued to ball when he went to.
Do y'all think Steve Wilkes would have kept Sam Darnold on the team if he would?
Absolutely.
No. Steve Wilkes understands continuity.
I don't. Listen. I think. Okay. Let me rephrase this. I think Steve Wilkes would have, but I don't think Steve Wilkes would have been in charge. I think they were going to do whatever they wanted to do.
No, Dave Tepper just wants this offensive mind.
That's all he wants. If we fire Canales today, he's going to look for He's going to look for. And I tell people this all the time. If Canales loses the job, y'all need to understand. Tepper's going to go get the same exact thing. A young offensive guy, preferably with no experience, so he could come here and be this new age Sean McVay. Tepper has it embedded in his forehead. I want to do it my way, and he won't release it until he does
I disagree with it slightly. I can't say this. I never give Tepper any credit for any, but he's been staying out of the fucking way, man.
He does.
He's been way better. Yeah,
I think somebody
said this earlier.
Doesn't interfere.
People who blame David Tepper now, they're just gonna find any reason to blame David Tepper for anything.
Yeah,
man. Like
the motherfucker has really been chilling. He ain't really been
hands off.
When they called Canales to the office, I would have called Canales to the fucking office.
But if they fire Canales, the fact is, I think David Tepper will always be the owner who hires the coaches. A lot of people think the GM should do that. I respect that. But I don't think that's how Tepper's going to run. In a lot of organizations, the owner hires the head coach. And I think that's how Tepper's going to fulfill his.
Look, I can be wrong. I just think he's learning his lesson that just maybe his way don't work all the time. And he's already been put a lot of faith in Dan Morgan. He saw what maybe Dan Morgan, maybe I need to listen to him with the coach too. Because he ain't going to be able to get a good coach in here just based on his own merit because he has no resume. And then you don't want that coach picking your coach. I mean, that owner picking your coach when he's the guy that's known for wanting the Pittsburgh coach fired.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Dan Morgan handle it. Let Dan Morgan handle that, bro.
Yeah, I agree, but it's like to Twan, I will say this though. I think he stepped back, but for example, if you're gonna call Canales in your office because he's doing dumbass shit, that is on him though, because you did hire an unexperienced coach. Right. So it's like you either gotta give these boys slack or expect this is a long-term process, or you gotta put your foot down if you're not seeing results. Because I'm going to be honest, I haven't really seen Bryce Young develop at all, really, if I'm being quite honest. I think he's gotten better in spurts, but I don't think he's anywhere near a franchise quarterback that we're looking to pay or looking to be the
add some of that, but a lot of that is on Bryce Young.
It is, yeah, for sure.
The dude don't like we don't see him doing a whole lot. I'm not saying he doesn't do it, but this past year he don't do a whole lot of all-season work. He don't he don't get with a ton of guys and do his thing or whatever. He's a man on record saying quarterbacks don't lift weights. Bro, what are you doing to help your situation?
Yeah. Well, who said quarterbacks don't lift weights?
Bryce Young.
That's pretty. Bryce said that?
No, he's saying he doesn't believe he's done anything like that.
Hey, Pop, help me out. He said quarterbacks don't lift weights.
He said quarterbacks don't do bench press. He ain't did bench press since high school.
There
Well,
are
I
some
don't. I
quarterbacks.
could he do a bench press? I mean, really, could he?
Can I just tell y'all what frustrates me so much, man? Like, if we would have just kept with our number 7 or 8 pick, whatever it was, in
Oh, here we go.
2022,
It's true,
when
man.
we moved up for Bryce, we could have got a really good defensive player, and then the very next year, we could have gotten who is right now the best deep ball thrower in the NFL,
Great man.
You don't.
Drake May, the
You-
dude from Charlotte, grew
College
up
you
a
go to?
Panthers fan, went to UNC, and now in that banner I pulled up earlier, they have him opening up his shirt with the Superman on his chest, bro.
Oh, I hate
That
the shoulda,
should
coulda,
have
woulda.
been our dude, man.
That's
It
just
I
should have.
know. I know.
But-
That's why I hate to
He
bring
ain't
it
never
up.
coming in.
Fuck, man.
you don't know. We might not listen. If you go back and you don't trade all those picks to move up, and you're going to draft a stud defensive player
But we
probably,
squandered.
or you might have drafted somebody
Like a
else.
press machine.
And then you add all these other draft picks. You don't necessarily know where you were going to be drafted the next year. So you might not have been drafted high at the number 1 pick. You
That's
might
true.
have been drafted at the 7th pick or the 11th pick or the 20th pick.
I'm not
Some-
even mad. My bad. I'm not
Y'all
even
bet?
mad at Drake May for doing that celebration.
Oh, I'm not
And
either.
a lot of people are gonna be like, "Why would you say that, Pop?" Because Cam Newton raised him.
I didn't like it, man.
Hey, Cam
gonna lie.
Newton's not mad when he sees it. I'm
Yeah,
not going
The
to be
only
mad.
time
Cam Newton
The only-
raised him. He was a Panther fan.
I still didn't like it, man.
I feel like he was paying.
Yeah, Dan
homage.
Floyd, you right. I always wanted Hooker that year, and y'all told me he wouldn't be here and he'd never last and all this other bullshit. Guess what?
He's only here because he hurt.
He's
I feel
here,
like
and
he
y'all
was-
asses wanted short shit, and you got him. See how it worked out for you.
Pop, I'm not mad about it either, mainly because I feel like it
Some
was
of y'all
all
wanted Will
a
Levis,
tribute.
and how's that working
Yeah.
out for you?
Yes,
Some of
sir.
y'all wanted. Somebody even wanted Anthony Richardson, and how you know what? Bryce Young is a better quarterback than Anthony Richardson.
Bro.
Yeah, Richardson.
I was trying to say something.
That's a low
Go ahead,
bar
Jay.
right
I
now.
wanted ARO CJ, but what you were saying, Jake?
No, I mean I agree with you 100%. Though I wasn't mad about it either. I mean I felt like it was like paying homage or paying respect to
Yeah.
Cam Newton, so to speak.
No.
I was more mad about back in the day when Colin Kaepernick was still playing, when he did that button up jersey of Superman. Remember he did a reverse.
Yeah, and the
now that I was
playoffs
pissed
too,
about.
bro.
That
pissed me off.
yeah.
You know what also pissed me off? That Bryce didn't go and score in the end zone and do it back. But
Yeah.
Bryce ain't that type of dude, man. Bryce,
we know
No dog, bro.
he's not a lot of things.
he's that same kid with the book bag walking.
And bro, shout out to Kitty Kitty. She said Cam reposted the celebration on his
Yeah, he
X
did.
account.
That's what I said. Cam Newton raised him. He's from Charlotte.
I didn't like it, man. As a competitor,
grew up-
I'm
he
just
grew
being
up-
honest.
Why?
He
Why
should have been
you didn't like
us.
it? Why you didn't like it? Why you didn't like it?
Because if you don't play for the Panthers, don't do it. I don't like it, man.
He's from Charlotte.
I
He's a
recognize
Panther
that a lot
fan.
of other people did like it.
And by
Hey,
the way, but Twan, how about
I
this?
said y'all.
Wait, but
you
hold
know
on,
I said
Twan,
y'all.
Wait,
You know
wait,
I said
Twan.
y'all that liked it.
Wait,
He scored on
Twan.
us and did it.
But Twan, how about this though? Did you hear that Drake May was a Panthers fan, but he quit being a fan after they did what they did to Cam Newton?
Twan,
I don't blame
listen to this. If you don't want Drake May doing that, then don't let him in the end zone, bro.
Oh!
Like Cam said.
It was the same thing with
Don't
Cam.
lose by 29 points, bro.
Yeah, it was the same thing with Cam. If y'all didn't want Cam celebrating, don't let him get in the end zone.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly right.
Anthony,
All
for
right,
that one,
like-
bro, I gotta give you a round.
That was close, man.
I'm always cool for Drake May, man. He's from Charlotte.
That
bro.
shit was cold, bro.
Yeah, that was
thing is,
cold.
the way I saw that, and you know, that's just me. This is my own feeling. We having some fun with
No,
it.
bro.
The way I saw
playing
that
with
is
you,
with
bro.
Cowboys fans when somebody fuck with the star.
Yeah, no, I'm playing with you, bro. Like,
Yeah, I know. I mean, but
I-
that's how I felt. I mean, I was being petty about it, But the way I felt when he did that shit, or when anybody does the Superman celebration, it's just like when Cowboys don't want nobody fucking with that star in the middle of their field, bro. Like, don't do that.
But
I don't know when Kaepernick did the shit.
Kaepernick did. That was disrespectful, but it's got a different meaning from Drake. Like I said, he grew
No,
up.
man, Drake is an opponent. He don't play for the Panthers.
Yeah,
It don't matter though, bro. It's context to everything, bro. But all right, whatever.
But do y'all remember Jalen Hurts did that shit too when Philadelphia came and fucking beat our
Yeah, he
ass?
did it. I ain't
Yeah,
like that
bro.
shit either.
Cam Newton started the trend, especially in quarterbacks wearing number 1. Like that's a Cam Newton thing, man. But I don't know, bro.
you don't have to worry about it. There's gonna be a Charlotte native quarterback here next year when we sign him in free agency. Goes by Danny Dimes.
Well, I mean, we already got a quarterback from North Carolina on our squad, which is Hook. He's from Greensboro.
That's true.
Damn, I forgot about that. He is from Greensboro, isn't he? I don't know. Hey, man, I want to see Hooker. I just don't think they're ever going to give him the opportunity to fucking.
Not this year.
Not year.
I don't think they will this year. I truly believe
How much longer does he have left in his
it,
contract, Pickle?
he's on. He doesn't. When you go to a practice squad, your rookie contract canceled.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So, we don't have him to Hooker after this year.
No, he's not. He's on. No, at the end of this season, they'll sign him to a 1-year contract to put him up on the regular roster.
Yeah, he wants to be here.
If they're interested in bringing him here, they'll sign that. If not, and I've never known a guy not to sign a contract to stay on the team unless it's for whatever reason they think they're going to go somewhere else. It's almost automatic that they sign from the practice squad to the regular roster. But there is no, everybody on the practice squad is a week-to-week contract.
Wouldn't that be crazy if they sign Hendon Hooker next year and don't sign Jalen Coker?
That's
Jalen
possible.
Coker got to prove his worth, though.
Jalen Coker ain't proven shit so far.
He's always hurt.
He's always hurt.
I
hate that.
Yeah, I said it last year. People were anointing him this stud and this top guy, and I said, "Y'all, he ain't proved nothing so far." Did he have a great rookie year? Yes, he had a great rookie year. I'm not taking that from him, but he ain't proved
He had a solid rookie year.
He had a decent rookie year.
I was being generous. Forgive me. Okay. I was being nice,
I know you were, Pig.
I was just trying to be nice. G Baby always pops in and listens to me. Listens at some point or another. So
go ahead now.
We could do a documentary. We could do a documentary over the last 10 years of all the shit the Carolina Panthers fucked up on.
Yeah, bro.
Be a long documentary.
And but before Matt Rule coached his first snap of football, this team wanted Justin Herbert, wanted to trade up to get him. And by the way, David Gettleman was with the Giants. We could have moved up right to where
he agreed to it. He had already agreed to the trade.
Yes.
Oh,
and we would have jumped the Chargers and the Dolphins, and we would have got Herbert.
Right. But Matt Rule didn't want it.
And by the way, think about
Teddy Bridgewater's feelings hurt.
Think about how nasty that would have been. You would have had Justin Herbert, DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson. Like, dude, that could have been. And you know what? Again. And you still could have ran with Cam Newton starting that first year if you didn't want to play Justin Herbert in his rookie season.
Can you imagine Justin Herbert learning behind Cam?
All the dumb shit we've done, bro. Yeah, and even then, if you would have already released Cam and all that, even if you'd have done all that, Bridgewater only signed a 3-year deal. It was an easy out after 2 years. So you could have signed Justin Herbert, let him gradually take over, and then when you were ready for him to take over, you could have got rid of Teddy Bridgewater a respectful way and moved on.
I want to know.
No, we couldn't do it the easy way.
I want to know why in the hell we drafted Vernon Butler. That's what I want to know.
Because David Gettleman liked big men.
Oh,
I said it. David Gettleman liked a man with a big ass. He did. Ask him. He'll tell you. He said, I like my big men. You
He
did.
like them hog mollies. Is what he
Yeah,
Hog
he did.
mollies is what he's. Yeah,
The
he
bigger
loves
the
hog
ass, the
mollies.
better. Fact.
Oh,
David Gettleman
man.
said, "The bigger the ass, the better."
like that Dunton on is what
You
he
got some
said.
explaining.
Hey man, but dude, like my thing is there's so many picks that we could have done different. Bro, we at one point in time we could have had Cam Newton and Derrick Henry on the squad, but we chose Vernon Butler
No,
over
bro,
Derrick
I'm talking
Henry.
about
Bro,
the shit that we actually had.
we could have
I'm
had
talking about all
DK
the fucked up mistakes that
Metcalf.
we actually had.
I know, man. It's just
Like
Well,
Gettleman, like getting rid of
it all
fucking
goes together there. You're
Josh,
right.
like Gettleman getting rid of Josh Norman. I mean, you could go through every regime,
Right.
and they did some dumb shit.
Y'all trying to go depressive, man. I'm trying to move to the future.
Yeah, right. I ain't going
know.
down.
We
I
got
ain't
nine.
going back.
We got nine. Hey, listen. We
We
got
could go
nine
on
picks.
deeper, y'all.
We got 9 picks this year. We possibly could get another one. But we got
And
9
cap
picks
space.
this year.
Tons of cap space.
Right. We could do some things this year.
Right. Yeah, no, I still think.
Oh wait, I want to bring a point up.
Let me ask, give me your top 3 needs on this team. The most to
LB.
Pickle, can I say this boys? Can I say
Yeah,
this real
right.
quick?
Yeah,
LB.
Okay, Pickle. The other day I was talking to you. I don't want to get negative too, because I we're 4-4, right? We're still in this thing, but I will say not having Milton Williams definitely hurts, because Pickle and me were talking the other day about how Tershawn Wharton's been a little underwhelming, and I think that's fair to say. But so like that's another thing that stinks. But okay, you can go back to what you were. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, you're right. The other day I said the one thing, us fans ourselves have to stop overhyping these free agents and even the draft picks. Stop overhyping these guys that by the time they come in, we expect so much from them that they're nowhere near going to match up to the fans' expectations. But
my pick for your question is about the 3 important things. It's not in no particular order. It's O lineman, 3 tech, linebacker. Those are my 3. Those are 3 things I want. O lineman, 3 tech, put somebody out there to help Derrick Brown.
So no QB.
And linebacker.
So no QB.
I'm not worried about the QB.
You're not worried about the QB.
Well, my top 3, and it's I'll go in order of top need. I think our number 1 need is a middle linebacker. My number 2 need is a corner, a shutdown corner, and my number 3 need is offensive tackle.
We also need a new defensive coordinator, because I was at the Bills game. They ran the same.
Can't get that out the draft.
I know. They ran the same fucking pitch play, and you guys saw this 11 times. I counted 11 times, and Evero sat there, and we didn't do it. We didn't overload the side that they had the fullback on. Just sat back, and we're like, you know what, James, go ahead, have your day today. That pissed me off. So I think we need to we're going to get a new DC, I bet anyways, but I really hope the other guy brings some level of aggression to this defense and so like that accounts for players like JC that demand to be on the best wide receiver, whoever you're playing that day. Like we need more of that, but we need it from a coaching aspect. And I don't think Evero has done, I think he's done okay in some games this year, but versus the top QBs, I don't know. But I'll stop with that.
Well, no, but that was my point that I said earlier, Anthony. It's like we can get some wins, but God, we need to win against a good team. Like, say what you want about Atlanta. At least they beat Atlanta at home. Atlanta beat Buffalo at home. Like we need this, man. If we go into Green Bay and beat the Packers, like, hey, this might be a bipolar ass football team with some low lows, but at least they're able to give you some of those high highs to counteract it. Because
to
and I
move
said this, yeah, good.
to go into next year too. Like we're on the same page because you heard me say this in the space too. Like if this team finishes like, let's say we finish 7-10, we beat the Saints twice and we beat Atlanta, and we improve on last year. But if we take a step back and look, how great do we really feel that we beat 7 teams under 500? Like, does that make you feel a certain type of
A
way
win
or
is a win in the
confidence?
NFL, man.
It is, yeah, sure.
Well, mate,
But
well,
like
mate,
that
Professional league.
but Twan, I'm saying like I've seen young rebuilding squads like us, like Drake May, they're in their second year. They went up to Buffalo and beat the 4-0 Bills. So like I expect a little more from that aspect. I'm with Cody. We need a signature win.
To answer your question, Ant, yes, it would make me feel better if we get 7+ wins. But at the same time, I'm still going to have questions about that team, our team, I should say.
Yeah.
And meaning, we all know. People said it multiple times in the chat that we're rebuilding, and I know that's frustrating to hear, but it is true. People's been hearing rebuilding for 7 years. The problem
I'm
is
so tired of that word, bro.
I know, Twan. I am too. I trust and believe.
You
I am
said that
too.
earlier.
But the main issue is that we've never got our GM right. We've had some sorry ass GMs in the past, mainly Scott Fitterer, who set us back so damn much, and that's the main problem of why we still got people saying that we're rebuilding right now.
Yeah, and let me bring this up to y'all again. Me and Pickle talked about it earlier in the show, but we read an article from FanSided. It was Dean Jones wrote the article, and he was like, and it was Dan Graziano of ESPN who said it, that but what the Panthers do before the trade deadline is largely going to be based upon what they're able to do against the Packers. So what we end up doing will largely depend on if we're 4-5 or 5-4. Do y'all agree with that? Like,
yes.
But what I'm saying is, if the Panthers go and beat Green Bay, how reticent is Dan Morgan going to be active? Is he going to try to be a buyer and get someone on this team right now?
No, I agree with Pickle. I don't think we do nothing.
I don't think we're doing anything.
I agree with Pickle. I
hope they don't do anything. Yeah.
Mainly because Pickle, a bunch of y'all said it. Dan Morgan loves his picks, and he wants to keep them picks. He wants to draft, and he believes in building this team through that way. That and making great free agency signings. So to answer your question, I really don't think it matters if we win or lose. I don't think that's going to affect Dan Morgan's decision of sitting tight and just continuing with what we got.
I agree, man. I hope they do nothing. Just continue to build this team the right way. Stop giving your shit away. You know what I'm saying? I can see if we were like, man, look, we can go deep in the playoffs. I don't see that. So why do it? You're only doing what you're gonna do for next year, but you're paying a bigger price. Yeah, I'm not doing anything at the deadline.
Y'all remember this past offseason? Dan Morgan had a speech or a comment or something, and he didn't say nothing about playoffs. He didn't utter that he thought we could. He didn't say he desired to make the playoffs, and it was a big thing that the fans kept bringing up. And when he showed up on a show on WFNZ with Mac and Bone, they asked him that question point blank. Why did you not say playoffs? He said, well, I would love to make the playoffs, but I just don't see it. I don't see this as a year. We're still developing. He said, fans and you guys, you need to remember, we're still developing. We're still fixing the roster up. We're at least another draft or two away from being where we want to be. And they asked him, and Mac asked him, well, some of these folks may not be here. He said, some of them won't be here. Some of them that are on this now will not be here a draft or two from now.
Pickle, can I ask you this, Pickle? Listen.
Yeah.
You do believe that the right quarterback can change a lot on offense, right?
Yeah.
So,
but
where are we going to find that?
The mistake, the mistake would be to go into a draft, and you know this as well as I do, Twan. The mistake would be going in there and saying, I've got to get a quarterback regardless of everything else. The last thing you do is draft for need.
Nah,
the very last thing you go in.
That's why I've never been on going and. That's why I've never been big unless you just got like a superstar on getting quarterbacks out of the draft. I like trying to go at the guys that's their contracts are ending or a lot of times people are not happy.
Yes, that's
yeah. I don't think Canales wants to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think Canales wants to draft a quarterback. I honestly don't think he does. When they brought Hooker to our practice squad, he was asked by the national media about that. He explained his history with Hooker. He said, I met him in Seattle. I met him and I realized how smart he was. And he said, one of the reasons why I like to bring Hooker onto our developmental squad now is because he knows how to read defenses. He's got an excellent arm. He can put that ball wherever you need it, all over the field. He said deep passes, short passes, intermediate, he can do it all. That's exactly what he said. He said, and I don't have to teach him to read a cover 2. I don't have to teach him to read a cover 3. Or knowing what this guy runs this route versus this play design, and then the next play design may look exactly the same, but he's going to run a different route. He said, I don't have to teach a veteran quarterback that. That's exactly what Canales said. That told me he was nowhere near interested in drafting a rookie quarterback, no matter how much fan base wants it to happen.
Would y'all be interested or entertained bringing Joe Brady back?
Hell yeah.
What?
Bro,
to be the head coach.
Yeah. But I was dude, look, y'all gotta understand, bro. Look, Twan, and you know this about me.
I think he has experience now. I
am always willing to adopt an opinion if I believe in it, no matter how bad people might disagree with me. Yeah. When we fired Joe Brady,
I think he's ready now, man.
There were so many people talking shit about Joe Brady and how he was everything.
I was one of them.
I believe Joe Brady's going to be a head coach.
I always said that it was such a mistake to fire Joe Brady and that he was always a scapegoat.
It was a Matt Rule scapegoat.
Absolutely.
I said that at the time. Y'all can go back and check the record. And now, by the way, I don't know if any of y'all watch Hard Knocks. Before the season started, they had the Buffalo Bills. When you listen to that man coach and talk to the players, bro, he sounds like a head coach, bro.
Did y'all see the video of him packing up before the game was even over?
Yes, dude,
that was so bad. I hated it. I know that dude was legit packing his bags before the game was over, trying to beat that traffic. He said, "I'm the hell up on out of here." Y'all
bro, you know it has to feel. You know it has to feel good too that he's helping a team like that be so successful. Meanwhile, the team that he left is just a fucking dumpster fire that can't get out of their own way.
Have y'all heard that old country song, How You Like Me Now?
How you like me now? Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking Joe Brady was singing when he was leaving.
Well, I mean, I think Kumo D did that shit first.
Whatever. I heard it off country music. I don't know nothing about whoever. I just know that's where I heard it. Okay.
Hey,
what about Brian Flores?
Yes, I'd love.
I would love him, but he's a defensive guy, and I like I said before, I don't think Tepper wants to hire a defensive guy. I don't think Tepper's going to fire Canales this year. I believe Joe Brady will be a head coach before this time. I think he's going to be a head coach this coming off season.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe not for an NFL team.
I agree with that. A college football team at the very least.
I believe Joe Brady will take the LSU job if he's offered it.
So I'm gonna tell you this, man.
Come back.
I don't even think. I'm sorry, Ant. I don't even think Canales can win at the college level.
No, listen, Twan.
I just
want to hear my theory. I've been saying this. Well, no, you've already heard it. I don't got to go down. No, I was just gonna say. I think Bryce and Canales are placeholders. I think because Tepper couldn't find his main offensive guy, he had to hire someone that no one else interviewed. And I mean, I'm at the point like G Baby and some other people get so defensive when you talk about Bryce. But if Bryce has another like sub 3,000 season, who is going to pay? Is David Tepper dumb enough to pay him? He can't be that.
He can't.
Not if he's the businessman that he claims to be. That don't make sense.
Well, but it depends on, dude. It's an ego thing. Like I said, and we have all said before, David Tepper was the one who wanted Bryce Young. So there might be a part of David Tepper who is still just like, we have to make Bryce work.
That's a long stretch.
Because that will vindicate him on his original decision for us to draft Bryce.
But he's already went down. He's already went down that ego road.
Yeah, I don't think he can do it.
He's fired multiple coaches going down that ego road.
Bro, I think
he's followed a GM. He's followed a GM going down that ego road. He's went through a bunch of talented players going down that ego road for Bryce. Yeah. I think that if he presents, plus I think he likes to step under him. If he walks up to Dan Morgan and Brandon Tillis and says, we have to re-sign Bryce, I think they're both going to say, no, we don't. And I think it's going to be a situation where I truly believe Dan Morgan is going to say, if you want to re-sign him, you re-sign him. We're not.
Bro, when you got Morgan and Tillis both there, man, like that's your
that's what I'm saying.
Try to trump them.
If you're an owner and you trump them, the fans will know about it.
Two great guys, man. Look, Tillis and Morgan. Why would you want to trump that?
It already affects your free agency. It affects who you want to bring in as a head coach. It affects who you want to bring in as assistant coaches. You think all these assistant coaches are just not coming because of Bryce? You're fooling yourself. They don't want to cut. They didn't want to come here. You think you really think Johnson, the Chicago Bears head coach that David Tepper slobbered over, didn't want to come here because of Bryce? No. He didn't want to come here because Tepper wasn't going to give him his choice on everything he wanted to change, and Tepper didn't want to do that. It was the ego thing. Tepper, we still have Jerry Rivero on this very team because Tepper wanted to have the ego about him.
I'm just hoping he's over that.
I still believe, his contract's up. And listen, they're not saying. It'd be very easy for Dave and Tillis and Morgan to say, we're just going to take care of it next year, Tep. We're just going to take care of it next year. And then by the time next year comes, just don't do it and let Bryce hit free agency and then to get who else you want.
When you got two people that know way more than you do and are respected, then you get out of the way, bro.
Right. Because
you hired them. Instead of trusting in Bryce, who you hired, trust in those guys who you hired and let them do what they need to do, man. Let them make you look good.
David Tepper, if you listen to XM radio, David Tepper, and even I said his name a while ago, the ex-GM for the Panthers. Anyway, he who attends every Panther game.
Napoleon.
Yeah, Bill Polian said it. He said Tepper doesn't have a good reputation in the league. He does not have his opinions are not highly valued in anything except for how can the league make more money. That's the only way that they entertain.
That's why he had to go hard.
No other person in the league likes him. The owners don't like him. The league office doesn't like him. He's already not liked. He claims, Tepper will claim he will claim that it's because he does so much great things for for the minorities and such as that. What he claims
for the Gamecocks.
Well, for hiring, no. Tepper claims that he's the only league owner that hires more women than anybody else does.
My thing about this up too.
So, but anyway, I said all that.
Well, let me go to Jake and then Anthony. Go ahead, Jake.
I mean, my thing is, I think we can all agree that David Tepper's took a step back. He's not as involved as he used to be, and I think that's a good thing. And I feel like if he's like steps forward and said, "Oh well, y'all going to re-sign Bryce Young regardless of how y'all feel about it." That's him taking one step back just to go two steps forwards, and I hope that he's not going to do that. I think him sitting back, letting Dan Morgan, Brand Tillis run this football team as they should is the thing that David Tepper should. I get that he's the owner, but if you're going to do the same thing that you're doing for the soccer team that you own, you need to do the same exact thing that you're going to do for the football team.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
I mean, my issue is I've lived in Charlotte. I've gone to games. It's never been, and Cody can probably attest to this, it's never been as bad when the amount of like Bills fans I see walking down the street just flooding South End, and like our stadium is just turned into a tourist attraction, it feels like.
Yeah.
And that just pisses me off. And I think that's part of his fault too, because these and fans online are getting mad about it. Fans are upset at the PSL owners for selling these tickets to like these big home games because they know that they can make like 40% increase in profit by selling them to an opposing fan. So that's tough. But all in all, I think it's not going to change till we start winning and we stop questioning our head coach and our quarterback. And I think once that happens, this will die down a little bit. But it's interesting, Pickle, you brought up what Napoleon said about Tepper around the league.
Uh-huh.
Well,
I haven't heard that before.
But though, like those, okay, this is why I said winning cures everything. Because, dude, those Bills were outrunning us the moment the tickets went on sale. You know what I mean? Like, even if the Panthers were undefeated to this point, that stadium still would have been 70% Bills fans. Dude, once you have a winning season or even two, that's how you start to build the culture. That's when you're finally going to have it where Bank of America Stadium is in an extra home game for all the teams that were playing. You have to build momentum. It's not going to take just a couple good games in the season for all of a sudden things to start changing. Like, those tickets are sold, but like as soon as they go on sale. So
They sold tickets to other fan bases in 15 and 03. Let's stop pretending this is the only time it's ever happened. It was happening back then. It was
I'm just
happening
saying
a lot
it's
back
more.
then.
I know, but this is what I'm saying. But Panthers fans were more fervent back then.
Right.
Yeah, it becomes more
the
apparent when
internet.
you lose.
Yeah, the internet's made it easier now. With a profit, our maintenance are high. It's made it easier for fans.
So what I'll
sell
say,
them.
just much to what Anthony said earlier, put a better product on the field, and those PSO owners won't sell their tickets.
Yes. Like, exactly.
Because if I don't want to go see some bullshit, I'm gonna sell my ticket, and I don't care what people who didn't buy a ticket got to say about it.
100%, dude. When the team, for example, like, because my dad had PSL, so I got to reap the benefits of it all these years. But it's like, dude, we would never sell our tickets when Aaron Rodgers would come to town. Like, fuck that. We don't care how much money we would make off of that. So it's like, I think it is. I do blame some of the PSL owners, but I do agree with Twan. Put a better product on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But all is to say, I am happy we are not 1-7 by this point last season. That's one of the things I was praying we weren't going to be. So that is a big improvement. But this week will be a real test, man, because this Packers team is they're good, to say the least. They're really good.
Anonymous right there. That, my friend, that's Tepper. When they started remodeling the stadium, Tepper signed a contract to keep the team in Charlotte for the next 20 years. They're locked in for at least the next 20 years.
If he moved, the city of Charlotte could sue.
He can't move for 11 years.
Bankruptcy.
Yeah, he's not moving.
Yeah, he's here.
Hey, boys, hey, are y'all proud of me that it's damn near 30 minutes past 10 and I ain't kicked y'all out yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you've had this show running for a while. We've been cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shit. I didn't interrupt a good ass conversation when
That's fact. That's fact. He's been, but
I am about
yeah,
to
but you know, if I was a PSL owner, and I just hypothetically say I spent $500 on my ticket, and I could sell my ticket for $2,000, I would. And then I would get online and complain about everybody selling their tickets for $5. You damn right I'd do that. You damn right I'd do that shit. I'd play both sides of the fences. You damn right I would. I ain't gonna lie.
I can't afford them damn tickets, man.
I can't
like
either.
that.
So.
Have y'all had any trick or treaters to your house yet this evening?
I don't do trick or treats. I have to like.
Oh, dude, Cody, I've just been working all day. These dudes have been tipping good for the DoorDash.
The last time we did trick or treating, my wife wasn't working. My son was little. I don't remember if he even trick or treated, but I think he had stopped trick or treating by then. And I had a bowl of candy sitting on the porch, and I was sitting there, and I thought I forgot my phone. So I go back in there to get my phone, walk out, and some little brat come here and took the whole bowl of candy emptied in their tray. I said, enough of this shit. I'll never give candy again.
God, you're sleeping.
Hey, Cody, I got to take off, man. Thank you guys for letting me be on the show, man. Shout out to
Hey, we're about to shut it down anyway. Twan, give me your predictions before you go. Give me your predictions before you go, man. Who's gonna win? Player of the game, final score.
Packers. Player of the game. I only want to pick a player of the game on our side.
Whoever you want to, man.
Dowdle.
Boom. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Twan,
love y'all, man.
I appreciate you, bro. Love you.
Happy Halloween, Twan.
All right, bros.
Yeah, all the love, health, and success to you and your family, brother. We'll be seeing you around.
All right, man.
Yes, sir. All right, boys. I'm gonna pass it around. My man Poppin'. Pop, I appreciate you, bro. Pop comes on when he's driving on the road. That's real dedication, man. Pop, I still got you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. I still got to appreciate y'all having me on, man. And hey,
of course,
hopefully we get a win tomorrow. Sunday.
Yes, sir. Hey, give me your final score, player of the game, and who gets the W, bro.
Man, I don't have no score prediction. I'm gonna say Micah Parsons is gonna be the player of the game. 19.
Yeah. All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. My man Anthony, talk to me, bro. You've been hitting them extra tipping door dashes all day. I appreciate that hustle, man.
I had to pop in, show love to the show.
Of course, dude. Tell me your final score, player of the game, who wins.
Oh man, dude, I want to pick us to win so bad, but every time I do, we don't win. So I'm gonna say Packers 31-17. I think Rico and T-Mac continue their dominance. I think Mitchell Evans catches a touchdown, but I think, like you've been saying, Cody, I think Micah Parsons they'll scheme him up the B gap versus one of our guards. That's another thing. I don't even know what the O-line alignment is this week.
Nobody does either.
Lewis and Moten are still questionable. Okay. So they might play, they might not.
Cade Mays is out, and we don't know who the right guard will be.
If Zavala plays, it'll be tough because they're probably just gonna pick on him. So I'll say player of the game's Parsons. I hate saying it, but
okay,
yeah.
Hey, that's reasonable, man. I understand it. I
will say real quick. Bright side. I
forgot about Zavala.
Bright side is, even though
he's questionable too, though he has a knee injury.
Well, he still ain't off. He still ain't off.
Right from this injury
IR. They still have to remove him from the IR list.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have the Saints the week after at home and they have they're basically tanking the rest of the season with that quarterback. So that's gonna be a good opportunity to bounce back. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, boys. Happy Halloween. Peace out, peace and love.
Happy
care,
Halloween.
man.
Peace and love, brother.
Happy
Have a great
Halloween.
Halloween night, man.
All right.
Yes, sir.
See y'all soon.
Yes, sir. Have a great one, dude. Jay, the snake, I appreciate you joining me on here, bro. Give me your
Hell
final
yeah.
score, player of the game. Who wins, man? You know the drill.
I'm with all of us, man. I want us to win, but I don't foresee it happening. Sadly, I got the Packers winning 28-14. Player of the game, Jordan Love. He's coming off a red hot game against the Steelers. I think he had over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and I think y'all mentioned him earlier, that tight end. So I think him and that tight end is going to have a really good connection.
Yeah,
sadly.
Tucker Craft.
But I just want to shout out everybody that joined in here and shout out to everybody that watched us in the show. Keep pounding, y'all.
Keep pounding, brother. Panther Pickle. Last but not least.
Right. Oh, Jake, shout out to your North Carolina Tar Heels. 27 up 27-10 over Syracuse right now.
Oh wow. Damn. They're gonna win.
Yeah. Yeah. Shocking development. Might hurt their draft position. Oh, yeah, right. Okay. I think the Panthers lose Sunday. I wanted to pick something else, but I couldn't bring myself to it. So I think they're going to lose 21-24, but I think Rico is going to have over 200 yards rushing, and he's still going to be the player of the game.
Okay, damn. All right, cool.
I think he gives us all 3 touchdowns.
I'm going to go. Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
No, I was just going to add on to what he just said. If that happens, Pickle, we got to pay that man, bro. We can't let him just
You're
walk.
right. We're going to walk into that situation.
Yeah. I also have the Panthers taking an L. My prediction will be 24-42 for the Packers. And I think Rashawn Gary is going to be the player of the game because he will line up against right tackle, and especially your Taylor Moton can't go. By the way, Rashawn Gary has more sacks than Michael Parsons does.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's
I wanted him in the draft, but of course we didn't get him. That's who I wanted.
Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All. We will be back this Sunday for another edition of the C3 post game show. I'm Cody Lashley. That's Panther Pickle. That's Jake the Snake. Y'all have a wonderful, happy, healthy, safe Halloween and a wonderful football viewing weekend. We will see y'all this Sunday. C3 Legion. Keep pounding.